touching sunrise meets my skin. Even with my eyes still closed, I can feel it coming in. Golden, golden, I'll follow only golden, 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 golden things. Mountain laurel high fives for miles in spring. Rainbow trout and a hummingbird wing. Golden, I'll follow only golden, golden, golden things. Gold hair, gold rings, gold leaves, gold anything, golden, I'll follow only golden, golden, golden things.
Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you can hear me okay. Can I just grab a couple of F's in chat just to make sure that the technical stuff is working? We have a bit of a day today, so I just want to get through some stuff, if you don't mind. Thanks, hi Chanuka. You're a star. Nikki Bishop, thank you. Meg, Helen, excellent. Thank you, everybody. Brilliant. Okay, cool. Right, there's a lot of technical stuff behind the scenes, and I'm sorry for starting a couple of minutes late. I've got technical problems, but you'll see. You may experience them yourself. Some clipping on the mic. Thank you, TJ. 1 second. I can see how that's happening. All right, let's hang on. Let me just drop. Cool. Yeah. I was so definitely clipping on the soundboard. It should be okay. I was shouting as well. It didn't help my cause very much. Okay, everybody, we're going to have a quick little conversation about this, which is a very important disclosure before we begin, and that's before we start promoting books and things. I have 2 drinks as well. I actually got a premium cider Copperberg strawberry and pineapple, which I opened by accident. I bought it on impulse and opened by accident. I also have a Coca-Cola here, and I think Tea Fairy is making tea. So that'll be 3 drinks. 1 second, everyone. You're getting messages deleted by Stream Elements. I apologize, everybody, if this is the case. I'm not sure what that's about. If you've had a message deleted by Stream Elements, I apologize. It's nothing personal. It's just bots doing bot things. Okay. So I want to quickly say a very important thing, a very important disclosure just here above my head. Now, I will be giving some personal stories, or I may be giving some personal stories. And in that case, events and names will be changed in real time in my brain. If you're watching this, my YouTube channel has had many millions of impressions. And as a result, my face is out there, and people from my past have sent me emails and messages going, hey, we used to live near each other, or hey, we used to do this thing together like 20, 30 years ago. And what I'm trying to say is if you're watching this sneakily without saying hello in the background, and you think that you recognize yourself or someone, you don't. Just make that super clear to start with. The second thing is, if any of the conversation feels difficult for you at any point, what I'm going to ask you to do, because I'm not going to be spending a lot of time looking at the chat when I'm deep in thought, there's some pretty big stuff here. So I'm going to ask you to switch off your device. Thank you very much, Tea Fairy. Hydrate merch is in the shop. I did promise I wouldn't mention merch, didn't I? broken that promise already. That's not going well. Thank you very much, Tea Fairy. Invisible Hand of Tea. Remember to hydrate, everybody. In fact, this is my point, really, which is switch off your device, exit the stream. It sounds a bit bossy. Apologies if you got PDA. I'm just saying sometimes we need to be reminded in the heat of the moment to just breathe. Spend some time looking out of a window if you can, or making a cup of tea. The stream is recorded and is available to rewatch later. You're not going to miss anything out if you leave the stream. We are going to be talking about social games, mismatches between social and psychological communication. So far, so not contentious. But we are going to be talking about narcissists, manipulation and masking. Okay? Which I'm sure everyone has experience of. And I am just one person with 2 full-time jobs. I'm trying to get rid of my other full-time jobs so that I can do this full-time job better. And I'm autistic. So, and I'm a YouTuber. So if you need therapeutic support, I've written this is not the place, but I don't mean it like I'm not saying fuck off or anything. What I'm trying to say is I'm not a healthcare professional or psychotherapist. And if you're watching it and you feel that you need immediate mental health support, please see the list of mental health helplines and resources. Are we good? Are we good? Hopefully that's good. I might show the disclosure again, but I won't spend a lot of time on it. This is for people rewatching the stream later on. More than anything. So let me hide it. Oh, that's good. Okay. Let's make myself a little bit less big. Whoa, that's huge. How do I make myself less big? There we go. That'll do. That's a bit more friendly, isn't it? That's a bit better. Okay, good stuff. So on Sunday, I talked about this book, which is Games People Play by Eric Berne. Now, this is... Okay, it was published in the 60s, but it was written during his work in the 1950s as a psychiatrist in the US Army. Post-war, baby boomer time, the US military. And as such, if you do buy this book, there are many links, but a few of them are mine, which you can use in the description. For example, this little link here, this little QR code. There is a small kickback to the channel, about 20-30 cents. So if you find it in the library, that's probably better. But my point is it's written with some. It's not overly chauvinistic, but it's written of the social rules of the time. The games are all valid, but you just need to modernize them in your mind. Most of them are fine. But there's a few in here. There's obviously like sexual games, some life games, some rituals, which are a little bit, man works, wife stays at home, wife gossips, that sort of thing. So just bear that in mind, that it's just a product of its era. But transactional analysis is quite helpful. And yes, it was a song in the 60s of the same name by the Alan Parsons Project. Right. So we are rolling. Maybe we do have 89. That's good. We can go. Right. Okay. A few things. So I liken this to I've got a whiteboard. So I can draw badly. I'm basically a low dexterity cat. And talking of low dexterity cats, I wanted to use Dungeons and Dragons as a very quick kind of metaphor for all of this stuff, because in the game Dungeons and Dragons, in the world of Dungeons and Dragons, you've got loads of different types of classes of magic users. You have sorcerers that wield magic, and they do it sort of innately. They do it. They're like Harry Potter, okay. And basically, they're just born magical, and they can just click on the microphone. I can reboot my soundboard shortly. If you can put up with it briefly, we might be good. Let me see if I can do something about it here. Possibly that. might have made a difference, or might not have done. Okay, I've just turned some filters off. You might now hear my air purifier. Okay, so we have kind of like sorcerers. And sorcerers are innate magic users. They don't need any training. They just get on with it, okay? Secondly, we have wizards, okay? And you are all mostly wizards. Now, wizards are born and they have to then study magic. They don't understand it. They can't cast any spells. They can't do anything. Still crackles? Wiggle cables, wiggle, wiggle them. Wiggle cables, wiggle, wiggle them. Is it still crackling? I need you guys to give me feedback here, quite literally, because if you don't, it could be audio driver issues. It could be. Let me have a little look. Probably worth getting it sorted now. I can cut it out. It might be better now. I have wiggled cables. Wiggling cables helps sometimes. Did it work? Did it work? Is the microphone working? It crackles when I speak. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to reset the audio interface by turning it off and turning it back on again. Don't go anywhere. It won't take very long. What you can do is have a little look at the
Appalachian sunrise meets my skin. Even with my eyes still closed, I can feel it coming in. Golden, golden, I'll follow only golden, 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 golden things.
Of course, because I was also muted. Sorry, that one. Sorry, that was on me. So this should be F now, right? Like, hopefully there's. There is sound. Oh man, there isn't sound. Womp womp womp. Right. Okay. There should be sound. We should have sound. I'm also going to restart the stream, as in, don't worry about it. Just be you guys. Stay there. I'm gonna restart the browser session to get the WebRTC connection refreshed because that's not very reliable. Goodness gracious me. We should have no crackling. Everything should be wonderful. Everything should be good. There should be no clipping. Everything should be working very, very well. Am I right? Everything. You don't want crackling. It's crackling. Right. I think what we're going to do is blow Microsoft Windows away. I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to I'll fire up my Mac and we'll do it. Right, okay. It's going to be a slightly long countdown, but don't go anywhere. There won't be a new stream. It'll be this one. And what I'll do afterwards is remember to delete this bit out for people watching the VOD. Okay? So for you guys, it's just like 4 minutes of your life. Okay.
Appalachian sunrise meets my skin. Appalachian sunrise meets my skin. Even with my eyes still closed, I can feel it coming in. Golden, golden, I'll follow only golden, 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 golden things. Mountain laurel high fives for miles in spring. Rainbow trout and a hummingbird wing. Golden, I'll follow only golden. Golden, golden things. Gold hair, gold rings, gold leaves, gold anything, golden, I'll follow only golden, golden, golden things. Walk up the river by my son. Feet step over splinters of the moon. Golden, I'll follow.
There you go. Let the music disappear, and hopefully everything should be good in the world. It's possible I'm backwards. I might be flipped now. And if I am, I could probably fix it here. In post. Hang on. Mirror. There we go. That's better. Right. Okay. Is this working? If this is working, we should have no crackle. Oh, yeah. Fuck you, Windows. Fuck you, PC. We're on my Mac, which is where I make my videos anyway. But I need my PC for some of the after party games and things so that we can do Jackbox on Mac. Yay! So I'm the right way around now. Stormbreeze, brilliant. Okay, we're far too happy for the subject of this particular video. Sounds amazing. Yes, yes. Tons of Fs, right? Cool. Phew. Thank you, Ashley. Good to see you. Yeah, I have things that are not working, but that's okay. We can work with that. Great. I'm not flipped anymore, right? Because I've unflipped myself. So I am now the correct way round. I was temporarily flipped. Now I'm no longer. Excellent. Phew, drama averted. Okay, let's get on with it. It is for you. I bought that for you. Yes, I bought it her favorite yogurt. Okay. Now, everyone is happy. Is everybody happy? Has everybody got tea, their favorite yogurt, whatever it is that you need to be happy? Amazing. Let's start the stream again. Let's just pretend that the last half hour never happened. Everyone has successfully got into their autism-powered time machine and translocated themselves back to reality. Okay. The next thing I'm going to try and do, while I put on the important screen, this one, please have a read, is I am going to try and put the whiteboard on screen. That'd be cool. Gosh. It's a negative on the whiteboard, I think. Unless I film from the top. Oh, hang on. Yeah, we can make the whiteboard work. We can make the whiteboard work. We can make it work. Maybe. Maybe we can make it work. Do I have to authenticate again? Flipping heck. Two-factor authentication. Okay, have a little read of this thing here. It's very important. I'm not going to be discussing anything controversial. However, yes. Great, I have Whiteboard now. Amazing. So I should be able to do a share of this in a second. Right, let me do that. We're getting there. We're getting there very slowly. You can probably ignore. Whoa. Ah. We're getting there. We are getting there slowly. Okay. Then I want a radius on that. And a radius over here. And I want it bigger. Oh no, I can just draw bigger, can't I, and zoom in. That works. That works okay as well. I'm going to move all this out of the way. It's from previous session. You can see the autism speaks on there. And sorry, I've got to remember that meme. Okay, so we have Whiteboard. That's important. We'll come to it in a second. It is actually legitimately important. Okay, right. Pull the chat up. Would have been easy to get a real freaking whiteboard at this point. Yeah, it totally would have been, yeah, for sure. Okay. Right. I'm glad everything's working. Let me just... All right. Okay, I have to go just underneath that thing now. Pen. Hello, pen. Right, there it is. Okay, cool. Right, now I know where my bounds are. So D&D has got two types of magic users. We've got the sorcerers, who can... They're kind of like Harry Potter, okay? And they're just born magical. Like, they know everything about magic. They can cast it. It's part of their DNA. It's like their autism, except it's magic. Then we've also got wizards over here. And wizards are not. Wizards are just like super intelligent people that have gone to magic school. They've gone to Hogwarts. They've gone and learned everything that there is to know about magic, or at least what they can learn. They need to read it from scrolls and books and all of that sort of stuff. Okay. Right. What I'm going to say is that the sorcerers are like the neurotypicals of the magic world. They actually understand a lot of these rules that I talked about last Sunday, as well as what we're about to break into now. The really, 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 really mean ones are where you get, yeah, let's not get too far into the metaphor. It's a very, very mild metaphor. And and the wizards are like your ND type folks. So this stuff has to be explicitly learned. It has to be explicitly taught. Okay, let's keep the analogy really small. That's as far as it's going. We're going to return to the D&D analogy only once in the next couple of hours. And it's no big payoff here. It's just, yeah, we can be. You see, now, some people say that autistic people, making big generalizations, big sweeps, say that autistic people cannot understand social norms. Autistic people cannot understand social rules. And the fact of the matter is I think we can. We're just not born with the innate understanding of magic and social dynamics, how to spot social games, how to see, because honestly, the way that I'm going to frame this, it is how it's framed in the literature. It's how therapists and so on understand things. But you can think of it like magic, right? We've got two levels. We're going to go this way. Oh, I have to scroll you as well. Oh man, I have to do all the work. Look, I'll get a production assistant at some point. There's two levels here. Oh, my microphone's in the way. Right, the two levels are the lines for my benefit. The two levels are the social level, which is everything that's said, every word that comes out of your mouth, everything that gets written down. It's the literal stuff. It's what we all understand. It's what have you ever had a friend text message you a screenshot of a text conversation? Have you ever seen it on Reddit where people are like, look how horrible this person is, and there's some horrible messages coming through or whatever? That's that, you know. In the UK, one of the greatest forms of endearment is to call a really good friend, you might call them a cunt, for example. That happens on the social level. But if that were written down, it would be awful. Because on the psychological level, sorry. I'm having tech problems, but I also can't spell. Right, let's rub that out. Can I? Okay, I can't. Oh man. On the psychological level, this is a terrible example. There's two levels, okay? There's the social level and there's the psychological level. That's it. That's the thing from it. And when folks say, I have to, when, oh, two fingers. I have to finger the screen to make it move. So when folks say autistic people just can't understand this, or we have an awful lot of conversation in the literature about the whole kind of cognitive empathy versus affective empathy. This idea still persists to this day that autistic people can have cognitive empathy. You can learn what other people are feeling, but you'll never innately understand it. This is bullshit, by the way. Absolute, total, utter bullshit. As autistic people, you can have incredibly high cognitive and affective empathy. In fact, I would argue you could have way too much empathy, like, you know, really dysfunctional levels of empathy, where you start just picking up on everything around you. For me, if I see, for example, like animals suffering, it's less of a problem with humans. So I'm not trying to be funny about that. It's just true, right? It can really upset me. It can upset me for days. It can, you know, way more than it would a kind neurotypical. I'm not trying to say I'm a special person. I'm trying to say that sometimes you have too much empathy, right? So I want to kind of like not mention empathy during this conversation. I kind of want to just kind of park it, you know, like take that whole conversation about cognitive and affective empathy and just fucking put it in a drawer and just close it. And specifically just look at this, the social level and the psychological level. These two things, because this is where we fuck up. Because there's a whole load of different rules that go between these two things that as autistic people, in general, we never got the memo. We never got the training because we're not sorcerers. We're wizards. We have to learn it. And something personal to me is that I believe, Mike's hot take is that autistic people can be good at anything they want to be. I have a special interest in this, a spin or a sped trest. And I think, you know, when you get autistic people that kind of hyper fixate on something and they really, really just want to kind of like go, what the fuck is going on, and try and figure it out, I think is possibly why we see so many autistic people in STEM fields, like arts too, but like we see an awful lot of autistic people in STEM fields and otherwise neurodivergent people in STEM fields. And I think part of that is the answer why is because people are going like, what's the answer why? Why is that like that? Why is that blue instead of red? Why is that? And we're just trying to figure it out. And the answer to those kind of fields is that no one knows. There are no sorcerers of science. They're all wizards. Everyone has to learn it, all of it, from first principles up. Does that make sense? Are we like, is anyone stuck because everything just comes off these things now? Yes, and we can go all in. Exactly, Robin. Absolutely, we can. Yeah. The lone plushie. Oh, don't do the lone plushie thing. That's awful. I see them as well. What I tend to do is pick up the lone plushie and then put it somewhere prominent, like on a bench or, you know, where hopefully other people will see it. Cool. And I also think, on my hot take, I'll try and separate my opinion from what seems to be understood, right? You know what I'm trying to say? I'm trying to like do two hats here. My opinion is that autistic people, and I feel like it's an educated opinion, can do it. And it is a struggle for us in general. Some of us are better at it than others. Some of us are so fucking oblivious to everything. My video from 2 weeks ago on Sunday about autism simulators, the last example from the National Autistic Society, where the girl is seeing the bus driver saying, going anywhere fun today, and all that weird shit all over the place. I said she's hallucinating, and I think about 100 people have said, no, she's not hallucinating. She's replaying the event in her mind. I didn't get it, and I made a video on it. I watched it a dozen times to try and figure it out. So like, you know, it's not like, hey, this comes easy to Mike, because no, it probably doesn't. There's a really good chance a lot of this stuff is going to come way easier to you than it does to me. I'm going to go through some of the stuff and we can talk about it. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example of one of these disconnects. One of them is someone comes up to you and says to you, hey, we are all going out for drinks tonight. You're welcome to come. What do you do? We're all going out for drinks tonight. You're welcome to come along. What do you do? What do you do, chat? Say you're a new hire at a new office or a new workplace. Say you're going to it could be anything. It could be a new church. Maybe even a new interest group. Depends on intonation. Yeah, I have an excuse ready just for this occasion. I have tons of them, Meg. I'm just sort of loaded with excuses ready to go. It's so natural now. Panic. Yeah, sure. The fact of the matter is no, you're not welcome. This is not true all the time, but in this example, there are other clues that you might not have picked up on. The eye contact, the rushed offer, right? Giggles from other people in the group. If you go along, and I started a temporary workplace when I was at university to earn some more money. And I remember exactly this. I remember them saying, 2 fingers on the screen, move it across, move it across. And I remember them saying exactly this. They were like, hey, we're going out to drinks afterwards. You know, do you want to come? And I said, yes. And they told me to go, they were going here, and me, I was told to go over there. So I went somewhere on my own and sat there for a couple of hours. And it was before sort of internet use. It was kind of about sort of 2001-ish, kind of 2000, 2001. We didn't really have sort of smartphones or whatever, but I was told very clearly, hey, we're going to this bar just around the corner. They were really explicit about where they were going once I said yes. They went one way, I went another, and I just literally just sat on my own for a bit, feeling like shit, have I got the wrong place? And then I literally just went walking around. Like I had a drink and then I just sort of just walked around, just like, oh, where are they? Eventually, I came to the place that they were at, and yeah, everyone was just sort of laughing and joking, and I just left. I just made my escape. Yes, it's a real story. And the fact of the matter is in hindsight, I can look back on it and go, shit, no, actually, on the social level, we're all going out for drinks tonight. Do you want to come along? It's actually a no, we don't want you to come along. But on the psychological level, it's very clear. It's like, we do not want you to come. They'll be avoiding eye contact. It's one of the reasons why eye contact is like super obsessed over by a lot of NTs. And it's because, you know, if you're shifty with your eye contact, it's very much like, oh no, you can't trust this person. They're being shifty. But this is another thing for another day. We've talked about it a million times. I'm trying to do new stuff here. You know, little giggles. I remember hearing like giggles, you know, giggles over here, like tons and tons of little giggles. Why do you mention it if I don't want you to go? Because a lot of the times, this is just part of the social games. A lot of neurotypicals would pick up on it and go, yeah, you don't have to actually invite me. It's okay. We don't have to do it. What I tend to do now, if it were a case that comes up nowadays, and it doesn't really anymore, but like what I started doing in my early 30s is, hey, we don't have to do this. And I just started saying to people in general, look, mate, look, we don't have to do this. And then they go, phew, and the neurotypicals sort of drop their mask a little bit, and then they kind of like you more, weirdly. But whatever it is, we have this disconnect between the social and the psychological. This is going to come into play. This is going to come into play in a really big way. Sorry, I just need a drink. Let me move the screen down. Let's go below that line. Cool. Okay. So the first game we're going to talk about is called See What You Made Me Do. And you can Google this if you want to. It's actually one of the names from the book. And the game goes like this. It's got two players. One player, how can you tell if the invite is real or not? Charlie, exactly. And it's also one of the reasons why, and Eric Byrne does talk about this, one of the reasons why a lot of people just withdraw. So I do it. In fact, not only do I do it, but it's become part of my character. It's become part of my personality. And I always wonder about the whole introverted thing, because am I introverted or was I molded into an introverted's mold? Do you know what I'm trying to say? So it's like, I'm not saying I'm extroverted, but it's not like one of my best stories. We don't need to like dwell on it, guys. Let's move on. But it's like, there are more. Right. See What You Made Me Do is actually in one of the games that Eric Byrne identified, and it's played with two players. What happens is, and you can imagine how this goes. In fact, I think I can possibly even read it from the book. Eric Byrne is dead, so I think I can possibly read it from the book. He doesn't really do it in a PAC kind of thing, but we'll PAC it. If you don't know what PAC is, you need to watch my video from Sunday. Basically, it's your ego state. So basically, the way he models interpersonal relationships is everyone has an ego state that they speak from or to, and it can switch at any time, really. And you've got a parent ego state, which can be nurturing or controlling. And you've got an adult ego state that is present in the moment. It's the one you should be in, really. Not that you have to be in all the time. And then the child ego state, which can be playful or terroristic, probably is a good one. What happens is someone, it doesn't matter which one of these ego states they use, actually, so it's irrelevant, really. But they come into a room, they start the interaction. So this is called the stimulus. I'm not going to bother changing color because you know what's going to happen if I try and change color? It's all going to break. So let's just work with black and white. This would be a red arrow. Stimulus comes across. And then what happens is before it even has a chance to land, you get this crossed reaction from the parent to the child like this. And it says, see what you made me do. For example, Nina comes in through the door. For whatever reason, she wants to ask me a question, and I'm working. And if any of you have watched any of my videos before, I'm working and I'm deep in thought, and then I get an interruption. And if I'm working on a deadline for a client, I know that it's going to take me at least half an hour to get back into the flow. And this is even if there were like $1 million on the line or something. You know, it's not, I'm not playing a game here. I'm like, for fuck's sake, it's like, thanks to interrupt. It's like now it's going to take me ages to kind of make the thing work again. That's a monotropic attention thing. That's not really what See What You Made Me Do is. See What You Made Me Do is, it's a game because there's a hidden agenda. And the hidden agenda is this side here on the right-hand side. This side here is kind of like waiting. It's kind of like somebody, you know, they're painting with a paintbrush and they're waiting for the interruption so that they can then smash the brush on the painting, covering it in black. And that's the point they say, see what you made me do. You did this. Does that make sense? I've sort of explained the autistic perspective first, which is quite often many of us are in hyperfocus and we get pulled out of hyperfocus. It can be frustrating. We can emote. That's not real. That's not what I'm talking about. This is somebody's waiting for you to interrupt, to bother them so that they can rah at you. Oh, fuck me, you just made me delete all my work. Then you have to reply back up this arrow. Look at the screen again. Back up this arrow from your child to their parent, controlling parent. And you say, sorry. You go, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Didn't mean to. And then you have this kind of, you have this parent to child. Your child, this is you. Sorry, I had to scroll that a bit. Oh, I've written on it, but it hasn't arrived. Maybe it will if I do another arrow. I'm sure it will arrive at some point. Okay, this is you anyway. Oh, I can use the mouse, can't I? There you go. There you go. This is you here, and this is them. So basically, your child goes back to their parent and says, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have done that. See what you made me do. This is a really, really common interaction for children. Like this is like super, super common. A lot of the time, so saith Eric Byrne, children learn how to behave like controlling parents is because they've been, so he says, accustomed. It is gaslighting. I wouldn't even say it's borderline gaslighting. I'd say it is actually gaslighting. But they've been exposed to a lot of this as a child, and that's kind of like the genesis of the game. That's kind of like how it runs on into the future. Often played by fathers, but not always. I'm just finding it in the book. Okay, all right. So Eric Byrne says, "Oh, actually, oh, it gets even better." Okay. One more thing. There's another game that plays off the back of this, which is called "If It Wasn't for You." I'm going to write under here and hopefully it arrives. Let's do that. And if I just do a line, we get the line. Oh, and the U came through. Oh, it just takes a while sometimes. All right, good to know. Good to know. This one's called "If It Weren't For You." You know, /her, /him, /them, whatever. And that plays directly from this game up here. These games are kind of partners. These games happen together. Okay, it's actually more like it progresses into "If It Weren't For You." Now, this game here at the top starts as a two-player game. You with me on this? This starts as a two-player game. Then it moves on into a multiplayer game. This one here is a big fucking PvP arena. Okay? Because what happens is, if it weren't for you, it then turns public. I'm going to give you an example that you'll all be familiar with. The autism mom. Are we ready for this? Are we ready for this? So autism moms play this game a lot. like a lot. Now I've spent, and I shit you not, do you know what? I've actually stopped using this year, 2025, January the 1st, 2025. I stopped using my Timula Cube. I use this to track my time. This is how I bill clients. So basically, when I'm working on their thing, I just turn it over to their side and it tracks them and bills them. Simple as that, right? That's how I track my time. But I do it for other things as well. So some of these have got clients on, and some of them have got things like admin work, you know, business admin, marketing, customer service, that sort of thing. And I've used this to track my videos, how long I spend on my time. I have been working for nearly 2 years at over an average of 55, 60 hours a week on my YouTube channel. And I can assure you, I have got a billion examples of autism moms playing this game. Because this example here is the de facto autism mom. Are we good? This is de facto autism mom example. Let's see if I can make this bigger. Nope. Hang on. Side by side? Hey, that's not great at all, is it? That's better. Improvement. I don't want the zeros. Give me a sec. Okay, I'm not going to touch it anymore. I think that's about as good as it's going to get. I can't zoom in some of the modes. In some of the modes I can zoom in. Weird. I'm aware the stream's only 720p, so at least it smooths out my handwriting. So autism mums play this game a lot. When I say autism mum, I should probably elaborate. Of course, there are some wonderful autistic parents out there. But there's a certain kind of person on the internet that what they do is they start the game by an innate sense of frustration and upset about their life. Oh, hang on, I want the chat on the screen. Cool. Where did you get that timer? Don't know. Don't even know what time you mean. Right, let's just go. Let's just go. Right. It starts off with like an intense frustration and wanting some what's called external social advantage. Okay, so the motivation. I need to move the mic. Okay. Right, hang on. Right. So the motivation is it's called external social advantage. Okay. Can you read that? Can you even read my handwriting? Does it work? Okay, because we're going to go into the thing now. So what that means is external meaning it's sort of like validation almost. And social advantage, we'll get to that in a second. But basically what this means is it's like these aren't my words, by the way. My explanation. But it's like a sense of validation, approval, social points. This is where you get your internet points from. That's what internet points are, external social advantage. And it starts with this. So this is kind of like motivation 1. Motivation 2 is I don't know how to write this. I'm upset because my child has autism. There you go. I think that's probably fair to say, okay? If I just do the two lines like that. I know some people are going to be like so angry with me for writing it like that, but but work with me on this. Okay? So the motivation is external social advantage, and I'm upset because my child has autism. And then what they do, the behavior, once I've outlined this, you'll see it everywhere. You'll see it fucking everywhere. So behavior, we'll do like A then, because we've done numbers already. So behavior A is, I'm going to get my phone out. Ready to film child's emotions for TikTok. With me? This is behavior A. So this is the now look what you've made me do. Are you understanding? Are you with me on this? We've got quite a few to do here. So take care, Yannick. Thanks for being here. So behavior A. So they get ready to film, get the phone out, get ready, and they start filming the kid because they know the kid is going to have an imminent meltdown. And then they film it. And often they might film themselves while the kid is distressed in the background. And they go, ain't it awful? Look how hard my life is. It's really shit. That's the social level. Psychological level, in my opinion, is I don't want my child. I don't like them like this. If it weren't for them, I would be sipping martinis on the beach right now. My opinion. That's what the psychological level is. I could never dream about filming a child. Like I mean, I'm not talking about like family filming, we're talking about like filming someone at the worst moments, and they're sticking on the internet. Like if somebody did that to me as an adult, if I'm having a meltdown and somebody films me and then puts it on TikTok and goes, look what I have to cope with. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Okay, and children are vulnerable and adults can be vulnerable, but a child is de facto vulnerable. So they're ready to film the child's emotions for TikTok. And then behavior B, they either make it happen / trigger, which I know is a bit of an accusation from me. But you can't be filming your kids all the time waiting for the funny thing to happen. They've got to be triggered. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, hey, as a YouTuber, and I've got a very long history of filming my family. I've been doing it all the time, like tons of like personal, private family films and things, right? Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, you got to be there at the right moment to have children upset, and then you're like, your first reaction as a caregiver is to film them and post them as for content. That's behavior B. And behavior C is upload to the world. Don't care who sees it. It's not even a case of showing it to a psychologist or a psychiatrist and saying, hey, so this is happening at home. This is personal. Could you give me some advice? Is there something I could be doing better? It goes on TikTok. It goes onto public forums. Not even private Facebook page. Public one. Okay. So this is called the If It Weren't For You game. And it happens after See What You Made Me Do. Is that okay? Are we there? You see it? Does that help? I could probably have explained this much quicker on a normal YouTube video, but that's what happens. This is I consider it the autism mom example. If it weren't for him. Eric Byrne describes it in terms of husband and wife and says, if it weren't for my husband, I would be doing this other thing that I would enjoy much more. And for the husband, or if it weren't for my wife, then I would be able to do blah, 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 blah. And obviously the key in those relationships is communication. It is adult to adult communication. It is, not necessarily turning it into a PvP arena. This, if it weren't for you, happens in public. This bit. It's not really like if it weren't for you, then I'd be able to do this other thing. If it weren't for you making me make YouTube videos, then I'd be able to play Baldur's Gate 3. Do you know what I'm trying? That doesn't work. You can't. This becomes a multiplayer game. This becomes a big one of I make a YouTube video and complain about everyone in my audience and say everyone's terrible because bah. Right? Doesn't really make sense. I mean, I can't really, do you know what I mean? Like it sounds bonkers because it is, and I would, you know what I mean? But like, that's what it is. That's what's happening. So motivation is external social advantage. Motivation 2 is I'm upset because my child has autism. This is where the cure shit comes from. It's like grieving, like, oh my God, my child. Behavior. A, you get ready to film your child's emotions for TikTok. B, you make it happen, trigger, and C, you upload it to the world. Now, if A didn't happen, I wouldn't be talking about it. If C didn't happen, I wouldn't be talking about it because I would never have ever seen it 100 times. Because if you go onto TikTok and you write the word autism, TikTok will suggest you autism meltdown child, autism child having tantrums. It'll just be, you know what I mean? That is predominantly what autism mom talk looks like. So there you go. So see what you made me do. Morphs into if it weren't for you. Okay, moving on. Oh, before we do, I made a note here to quickly talk about manipulation. So we talked about this being kind of like, we talked about this in two scenarios. We talked about it in terms of a family member interrupting another family member deep in thought. They might lash out or something. And it's possible that some people really struggle to control their emotions. And, you know, there is potential here that you could be in deep monotropic focus and you get pulled out of it and it's painful. And I understand all of that. I get it. And you just need to work on it. And like in some respects, for me, I will never change. I will always be like that. So what we do is we just work it in different ways. We just manage it differently. So we just work around it and put processes and policies in place to make it not happen. Right? So for me, I do try to be calm, but it's not really like that. But we just manage better. We send a lot of text messages in this household, all of us. In fact, our extended family do the same. We use a lot of text messages, even if you're in the same room. Now, for those of you doing it on purpose, I don't think that's the case in here because you would not tolerate a live stream like this if you're the sort of person that does it on purpose, in my opinion. But sometimes you can set this trap here and you can do a see what you made me do because you've planned it in advance. You actually want it to happen. So if I were doing this manipulation now, I would be on tenterhooks. I don't know. I'd set up a painting or something, you know, wait for Nina to open the door and then knock it over and go, see the damage you've done. And then I can immediately go on to play. Well, if it weren't for you, publicly, I could go and make a YouTube video about it and go, my neurotypical family are awful because, yeah, do you see what I'm trying to say? Behavior ABC, because I want external social advantage. And there's some underlying issue. But the issue is for manipulators, professional manipulators, is they will wait they'll form a crisis and make this happen so they can see what they made me do. The reason for that is fairly obvious. It's because it puts the other party, the child party, you, into the sorry position, meaning that you'll be on eggshells. You'll try not to set them off. All right, quick break, and then we'll go on to... should do narcissists next. Should we do narcissists next? How's everybody doing? Should we do a 2-minute break? This live stream is because you guys asked for it. I need you to know that. You literally asked for it. People were like, yeah, no. And some people were like, don't do it on Patreon. Do it publicly. Well, there you go. Live. So, Amanda, welcome. Yeah, we're talking about games people play in a few different ways. Is Mike see what you made me do? No. The answer. The answer to the games is, right, you guys might be seeing them everywhere now, and I'm gonna filter it for you, okay? let me very quickly give you the filter so that you don't see them everywhere, because they're not everywhere. Pastimes, small talk. None of these things are games necessarily. The games are repetitive. Okay, these are repetitive things. These are repeating patterns. If somebody in your family goes, for fuck's sake, see what you made me do, you made me damage something, and they don't, and that's not something they do a lot, right? That's not like a common thing. You might be thinking, shit, they must have had a hard day or whatever. That's not really necessarily a game. But if this is a repeating pattern of behavior, you know, it's the point where, you know, your autism sensors are going off, you can spot it, then yeah, it probably is. Is it dysfunctional? Is there a hidden agenda? Is there a hidden motive? These things have to be in place for it to qualify as a quote unquote game. Okay, so it's not everywhere, it's not all the time, but it's pretty common. The unfortunate thing is as a child, you learn these patterns. And you have to work really fucking hard to reprogram and break the programming, because as a child, you just absorb the programming of people around you. I had a very weird, very sort of fractious kind of childhood as a military kid. In an army family, my dad was posted away. He wasn't around for about half of my childhood because the army had him in different countries, unaccompanied postings. Sometimes the postings were accompanied. I was in a different school every few months. Sometimes the same school, and you go back and you see the same people again. It's really, really strange. But yeah, there was a lot of like postings, a lot of moving about. That was blamed as like my inability to make friends, because obviously I'm moving about all the time. That wasn't it. I could make friends. I just didn't play in the same way that people, you know what I mean? I didn't want to like go play football with them or whatever. Right? So it's just different play. But anyway, yeah. So there we go. Right. I'm just doing thank you, Soup. I appreciate that a lot. What I want to say is I'm doing like a small little read the room right now. I mean, I'm literally reading the room. I just want to make sure everyone's okay. It's okay. I go for this public. Yep, for sure. This is very raw and unfiltered, incidentally. I'll let you know. I mean, I've made a couple of pages of notes before I did this. It's great content. It's fun to hear you say up next, Narcissist. This is true. We're going to take a 2-minute break. Literally, it's just enough time to go to the bathroom, do your ablutions. If you're struggling with the GI, maybe you want a cup of coffee, or it's not medical advice, YouTube. Just saying, put more fiber in your diet. You should be able to, I'm messing. I'm just playing. Cooking, that's why I'm quiet. I'm like, okay, cool. Don't go away, because up next, there we go. That can stay on the screen. Don't go away, because up next, we're going to explore the nasty games. Oh, do you want to, Meg, you want to help me with my scripts? It's excellent. We're going to explore the nasty games narcissists play. Is there a narcissist in your life? Is this something? If so, this is something you need to. I would change that, because I struggle with the word narcissist. Look what you made me do, Mike. Amazing. Love it, Soup. Okay, cool. Everyone's happy and everyone's content. That's what I need to see. Right. 2 minutes. I will press the button to play the ads, because on this channel, I turn ads off. This is why I really do need your support, by the way. When the ads are on, just ignore them. Like, just watch them, whatever. Maybe even just tell us what ad you got if it's not embarrassing. I turn ads off. It really does affect the AdSense revenue. It's multiple hundreds of dollars, because you add it up. I do a lot of live streaming. I do maybe, I don't know, a couple of 100 hours live streaming a year, something like that. And it really does add up. So by just making the ad breaks really short and sort of perfunctory, no one misses out on anything. The ads can play. I can still earn a little bit from the thing, and yeah. It's very strange for me to be doing YouTube as opposed to do, software stuff. Right, 2 minutes, people.
Appalachian sunrise meets my skin. Even with my eyes still closed, I can feel it coming in. Golden, golden, I'll follow only golden, 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 golden things. Mountain laurel high fives for miles in spring. Rainbow trout and a hummingbird wing. Golden, I'll follow only golden, golden, golden things. Gold hair, gold rings, gold leaves, gold anything, golden, I'll follow only golden, golden, golden things.
Okay, everybody. Right, I've just had a jammy dodger. Tea Fairy has taken over biscuit duties. And I have alcohol, and I have a video about such substances in the future. Okay, we are going to be talking. I'll go over here. What I do need to do is do like a little plus on the screen so I know where the middle is. Where's the middle? Where is the plus? Oh, there it is. Okay. Right, cool. So I'm finding a star through a telescope. Let me get the chat up because I need the chat. Okay. Re-beveraged successfully. Excellent. I'd like to know what's classed as a narcissist. Yeah, Suzanne. Okay. So this isn't about... We can talk about it if you like. But this isn't about narcissistic personality disorders or cluster B personalities, whatever, behaviors. The antisocial behaviors, you know, that sort of thing. What I'm specifically wanting to talk about, because if I can quickly say, if you've met one narcissist, you've met one narcissist. I never thought I would say that. Not all narcissists are the same, and they also they do have a condition. They do deserve. I mean, they fall under the ND umbrella, and you know, deserve as much compassion as they deserve compassion. Okay, so well, I'd like to talk about narcissistic mind games. I'm going to try writing it, so just bear with me, okay? There's no palm exclusion on this thing, so. Okay, the plus. I'm going to just scribble the plus out so that no one thinks it means anything. There's no hidden meanings here, guys. We're talking very much about open meanings. Jansen claims to have been called a narcissist before. Me too, Jansen. Me too. In fact, I'm tempted to even ban the word on my YouTube channel. Not that that's something I do, but just because I get being accused, people accuse me on YouTube of being a narcissist because it seems like if you have a YouTube channel, you must therefore have narcissistic traits. No, does not follow. Does anyone want to go with one? A narcissistic trait or a narcissistic characteristic? Meg, I don't see it. Yeah, because I delete them. I delete those comments. Literally, I just banished them to Hydra's litter tray. I'm scared of narcissist and don't realize. Fair enough. I mean, 1% of the general population. I'm not even sure which country that is. It'll be US or UK. Are formally identified as narcissistic. Callousness can develop as a consequence of trauma. Too. It's fair to say. I'm not saying you're not a narcissist. Any narcissist watching can learn something. I'm slightly concerned. Hydra is possibly is a narcissist. Yes. As all cats tend to be. Extreme protection of their inner child. Yeah, definitely. Manipulation. Yeah, we'll be onto that too. It's not a useful label for a person. I agree with you, Soup. I also am not entirely confident that autistic is a useful label for someone. Because, you know, we are so different. Not profound autism, for obvious reasons, which I made a video on if you're interested and you're confused. Hey, Esmeralda. Right. For those that are new, we're about to talk about something slightly upsetting, so disturbing. I think I've got a little bit of pause, such that I don't want to write a primer on manipulating autistic people. But here we go. I have Dottie here. Dottie is in my seat, right behind. You want to say hi to Dottie before we do the bad stuff? Here we go. I don't think Dottie wanted to say hi, but here she is. Okay. So yeah, in fact, in the Discord, I've posted loads more pictures of Hydra as a kitten do. So I kind of want to talk about a couple of different things here, which are, I don't want to make narcissism sound cool at all, but like almost like the cool, they're almost like hackers, and it's almost like autistic people have vulnerabilities, but we'll get to it in a second. Saber, please no. Saber, no. Got a great deal of trouble to make the tech work. Please don't break stuff. Right. First one, we do an easy one. Oh gosh, see, I have to do that with my hand. The first one's gaslighting. It's not really first, it's just the first thing that comes to mind. Oh, hey, autistic not alien. Welcome to the chat. And I think gaslighting is an interesting one for me because everyone knows what it is, right? Is anyone like not familiar with what gaslighting is and where it comes from? It comes from an old story of a guy who is sort of psychologically abusing his partner by slowly adjusting the lights and saying that nothing's happened. Making them doubt themselves. Unrelated, but your handwriting for gaslighting looks really cool. Thank you. I sort of agree. It's not bad. I'm doing this. I'm clutching it like this with this because I have to. It is from an old film, yeah. I know what gaslighting is, but someone once tried to convince me that I don't. That's really funny. The reason for it, though, the underlying reason for it, we'll get to in a second. A little question mark. That is a question mark. It's an exploit. Dotty. Okay, I'll just move that for you now. There you go. Sorry. Okay, I'm trying my best here. Here we go. Okay, narcissistic mind games. Number one, but in no particular order. There is a hidden reason for it. But what it does, as we all know, the effect, right? We know what the effect is, as Neil has beautifully said in the chat there. But it exploits difficulties with interpreting reality, which I've kind of defined here as social cues and a sense of fairness. Because in reality, when you ever, it's called gaslamping and always has been. If you think that's ever called anything else, you're crazy. And like, yeah, because basically it makes you doubt yourself. It weakens your psychological defenses, and that is basically the reason why it's done. Struggling to write here. It weakens your psychological defenses and makes you easier to manipulate. That's literally all there is to it. It's not really, there's no sort of like immediate payoff for it. It doesn't sort of fit into games people play. It literally is just a technique for softening things up. It's the tenderizer. It's the insert metaphor here. I can't think of any salient metaphors at the minute, so maybe we'll move on, do another one. We can come back to gaslighting, but gaslighting can kind of take effect at any point during the encounters. Like gaslighting will come up all the time. Like in all of the other things we talk about in a second, gaslighting kind of can apply as well. Like, you know, being made to doubt yourself, as we often do. We often doubt ourselves. We often think that other people maybe know better than we do. On Sunday's video, there is a section in there about what's called life positions. The 4 life positions. I'm okay, you're okay. I'm okay, you're not okay. None of us are okay. To hell with the world, everything can burn. And then the sort of de facto autistic position. And I know this because many of you have been like, oh my God, that one's me. And none of you have said that's me to any of the others, which is I'm not okay, you're okay. And that life position leads you to being super fucking susceptible to gaslighting. Like super, super susceptible. Like if you know, if gaslighting exploits difficulties, right? Like if you have the most unwavering confidence in yourself, if you too are in some respects overly confident, which I don't think any of you particularly possibly are, but if you had just sort of like an obscene level of inner confidence, like beyond any reasonable limits, gaslighting wouldn't work, right? Gaslighting works because thank you, T Fairy, up here and then. Available in the merch store. Still. Be a special offer on them soon, I think. There's like a $3 markup on those. I think are very, very good. I'd like everyone to have one. And do you know what I use the difference for? I use the difference to buy merch to send to people. That's what I do with the money. But yeah, if you have a life position of I'm not okay, but you're okay, which is the one down position, then kind of you need to kind of, I mean, therapy is helpful, right? Like good neuroaffirming therapy can be really helpful. But, you know, you kind of need better defenses because you're just like a walking target for gaslighting. Because you'll doubt yourself. I often doubt that I'm even autistic. I mean, I get it thrown at me quite a bit now. Now my channel's gotten a bit larger and, you know, I get a lot of like, oh, look at this guy, look what he's saying, oh, look at him, oh, he's not autistic at all, look at him. And then I end up with people sort of challenging me, you know, they want me to show my diagnostic paperwork to them and all this sort of stuff. And let's say that I did. They would find some way to dismiss it, some way to essentially gaslight. So gaslighting doesn't just come from trolls and people on the internet. It can come from medical professionals as well. A lot of them are trained, you know, or maybe they get bored and a little bit of fatigue sits in and they end up just sort of gaslighting people without even realizing it. The whole, you know, you can't possibly be autistic. You can make eye contact. And especially if you are early on in your sort of identification journey, you might be in a position where you're thinking, okay, I need to go to see a GP because, you know, a nice trusted professional, they'll know better, they'll be able to help me. And then they say you made eye contact or you have a kid or something, therefore you can't possibly be autistic. Therefore, you sort of walk away with your tail between your legs, deflated. You've been medically gaslit there. And I wonder, this is Mike's hot take time. Mike's hot take is, I wonder if that's partly why we see so many autistic people dig in the folders. Like, we are properly extra in terms of preparation. I'd say like a typical autistic person knows more about their life experience and about autism than a typical medical professional. I can almost guarantee that. Like the bell curves would be like, there'd be like two boobies. They'd be completely, they'd be very distinct. There'd be a bi distribution there. Totally out of phase. I think it'd be really unlikely that you'd have someone who sort of doubts themselves and is trying to quietly figure things out that ends up talking to an expert like Dr. Tony Atwood. Like, I think that outcome is very, very unlikely. I think the most likely outcome is that people end up in this weird situation. Anyway, we should continue because otherwise it's going to take all night. Here's one I want to put in here. It's called love bombing, and I don't know if any of you are aware of what that is. You probably are. When I was I was involved in a cult. There's no other way to put it. For, I don't know, up to about 10 years of my late teenage years and early 20s. I remember some missionaries from Florida visiting. And those missionaries had this philosophy, which they called flirty fishing. And it involved kind of like street evangelism, but with the young ladies, you know, they'd be wearing sort of like tight jeans, like pants, I guess, is what they would call it, what you guys would call it. And, you know, they'd be doing all kinds of stuff on the streets, or kind of like street sort of evangelism, but in a very flirty way. And they'd be giving out cards to come to the church service afterwards and this sort of thing. And they called it flirty fishing. But I think, irrespective of that, I'll give you another little church one. The church groups that they came from in Florida used to have, and this was a weird culture shock for us, because when I went to Florida to visit them with a group from the church, and something they did that no British church would ever do, which is they had lines of people outside the door clapping as you walked in. It was like an Apple store opening ceremony, where you get all of the staff from the Apple store clapping you in. I've queued up for an iPhone before. And you get the staff kind of clapping you in, and it's weird. We don't do that sort of thing in Britain. But my understanding is, correct me if I'm wrong, American friends, that in America that's kind of more socially normal. You know, you're kind of making customers feel very valid. The idea that somebody would be clapping outside an Apple store is like a brass band playing outside an adult store. It's like, it's the same sort of feeling. That shouldn't happen. If you don't know what I'm talking about, there was a funny UK show called, shit, I forgot what it was called. It'll come to me. It's with the guy with the big telephone that goes, hello. American South is built different. Yeah, totally. And this whole kind of thing, this whole like love bombing thing, it actually, again, is an exploit. It doesn't have to be flirty fishing, by the way. It can be, it can just be, we can skip that. We can skip that. And it exploits, I'll move this. In my opinion, autistic drive for acceptance and validation. Trigger happy TV is what I was thinking of. Thank you, Helen. Thank you, Johnson, and Chloe, and everyone else who's got it. Brilliant. Extra points for you for listening. So yeah, this is a big exploit here. In that, you know, a lot of autistic people find themselves very socially disconnected for many obvious reasons, for many innumerate reasons, some of which we talked about, some of which we are yet to speak about. But it's possible for narcissists to exploit that in a way that perhaps wouldn't necessarily be so straightforward for neurotypicals. 5 house points to Gryffindor. Does that make sense? Love bombing. I think it's also kind of like coming down to dating as well. In the rules for dating, I was only involved in the dating world for a relatively short amount of time. And I was so fortunate to have a couple of ADHD friends essentially guide me through the whole process. Like, you know, the whole kind of idea about not replying to someone because, oh no, you've got to look like you're not desperate. And then like the whole thing, if it wasn't for them, Nina and I would never have met, right? Like the whole, I'm not saying Nina is like that, but like the point is there's whole kinds of bizarre social rules around dating. And if you tell somebody that you're interested in them or no, you don't, it goes back to like, I don't know if in school you ever remember having crushes on someone at school, and you'd ask your friends to ask their friends if they're interested in you because it's like a soft letdown versus actually just talking to people. It's difficult. The whole flirting thing comes into this, but there's a whole other, like, it's a whole kettle of fish. It's like a video series even. Let's move on. My point is, gaslighting, which applies at any of these stages, exploits our difficulties with interpreting social cues and sense of fairness. Love bombing exploits our need for acceptance and validation. It is exhausting nonsense. I agree with you. Things are a lot better now. Things are a lot better now as an adult. I can tell you that. If you're younger and you're watching this, you're thinking, "There's no hope." Yeah, there is. A lot of this stuff gets way easier. Okay. The other one here I'm going to put in is emotional blackmail. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know if you can read that. That's basically what my handwriting typically looks like. It says emotional blackmail. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about using guilt and fear. We'll get onto the games in a second, eh? What else do they use? Help me out, chat. Obligation. That's a big one, especially with families. And why is that done? That's done in order to control behavior. And if I'm perfectly honest with you, a lot of this is quite parent to child as well. A lot of emotional blackmail is like parent to child, controlling parent to adapted child. So when we have, for example, PAC, what does it look like? I can't believe I'm giving you answers. You guys should be doing this. It's controlling parents. This is you. Obviously, it's always you on the left in all these examples. It's controlling parents. So, for example, you have to go to this family event. You absolutely have to. Put your best clothes on. Put your best dress on. Put your best suit on, whatever. Okay. So P, little c, controlling parent, going to C little a, adaptive child, or adapted child. And then how you respond is up to you to some sort of controlling emotional blackmail like this. Hang on one sec. You got two options really. Once you realize this has happened to you and you're in a mind game and somebody is actually trying to control you, especially with PDAs out there. We'll get to remediating all of these tactics soon. If you can't wait, I'm sorry. Come back later and watch the replay. My video on Sunday, I made sure not to do the YouTuber thing and put all of the good shit at the end because I know people don't have a lot of time in their lives, and I couldn't. It felt unethical to make a video about social games and not give the answers as we're going along. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Even if it hurts my watch time, it's like, what do you do, guys? You've just been told here. Work out yourselves in the chat. This is not a spectator sport, people. Get in the chat. Stop saying hi to each other. Do it. Come on, I don't work for free. You at the back, making dinner. Stop it. I'm not making dinner. What do you think gives you the right to be here and get all this free content and you're not even contributing in the chat? If you don't, then I'm not going to do a stream next week. That's it. If I don't see the chat moving, no stream next week. I'm serious. Stop doing thumbs up, Neil. Stop it. Answer the damn question. What's your response, PAC, to the bat's back? I'm for those of you that might not know, Red Gen, thank you. We're back to level 3, I take it. Because like, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Is everyone fully aware that I'm demonstrating narcissistic behavior? Is everyone okay with that? Because like people don't say I'm going to be like this. They just drop it in there. I can see the chat moving. It's just not moving fast enough, Lisa. Do I have to do it again? I'm looking at the screen and I'm going guilt, right? What can I do for guilt? And the simple answer is it's absolutely true. I literally bust a gut to deliver this content. And, you know, like you should really do something to help me out here. Oh, I didn't see it, Suzanne. Whose fault's that? You obviously weren't clear enough. Neil, you can't watch read about the football. That's just disrespectful. Like, I'm not reading the football. Do you see me reading the football? I'm here. I'm fully engaged. And what are you doing? Adult mode. Maricat says adult mode. In fact, I think this is actually possibly the first suggestion I've seen. Genuinely. Genuine Mike is back in the room. Genuine Mike is back in the room. I think Maricat's example there is actually possibly the best one I've seen. You could say please don't do it again, Stefan Alexandra. Okay. Isn't it funny I tune that out? I have skills, Anne-Marie. Brilliant. Excellent. Excellent. Cool. So Maricat says try staying in adult mode. Cool. Does anyone want to build on this? So Maricat's saying stay in the adult mode. Yes. And what are you going to do? You're going to... Do you want to write an example? Does anyone want to write an example? You're kind of good at this, Mike. Somebody's into BDSM. Soup, I'm not into BDSM at all. This is getting a bit too TMI, but no, thank you. This is not. I'm not kink shaming at all. I'm like, hey, you want an info dump? We'll make you a special channel. But like, just. Stepdad was a bully and also very like a narcissist. Neil, I hope it was very clear. I hope it was very clear to everyone that I am demonstrating controlling parent, emotional blackmail, characteristics of a narcissist. I've just done it. Someone's going to clip it and go, look at him. Look at Autistic AF. Look what Autistic AF's really like. Reply with no emotional feedback. Badger and Fox is a really good answer. What's getting to Mike today? You're going to say that? You're actually going to say that as an adult? Because that's more like, what's getting to Mike is actually more like a cheeky child. It's like a playful child almost. And you're going to send it where? Where are you going to send that? You chose to do this, and I'm choosing to do this. Leave me alone. Okay. So that's almost an adult to adult thing. Actually, that's probably the best example I've seen. Apologies if anyone else has written one. You're all typing quite a lot faster now. I could ask you all. I am trying to protect my voice, Miss Pat. You are correct. On my 2-minute break, I was signing to Nina. Okay. What does the chat think about napkin suggestion? Will it work? I'd probably walk away. Bishop, yeah, fine. What do you think will happen next? Mike had extra coffee. He did. Napkin suggestion, okay. So what you're doing is you're pointing out what you want. So what's going to happen there is you're trying to get the controlling narcissist. You're trying to get the controlling narcissist. This is a bit like a Dungeons and Dragons game. You're telling me that your move is you're going to be an adult ego state. You're going to try and get the controlling narcissist. You're kind of like encouraging them to move to adult with you, and go, okay, you're right. I am choosing to do this, and that is a very reasonable thing. I apologize, and I should immediately. Yes, you're correct. I'll go and I'll apologize for you. I promise I won't turn it into if it weren't for you. Well, they didn't fucking come because, yeah, they're awful. Oh, they're much better staying at home anyway. Yep. I can sense... Sorry, what? I can sense resentment from Mike? The chat was moving... Yeah, the chat was moving faster than I can read. I can read very fast, but the chat is harder because I'm reading each individual person, and I know many of you, so it's a case of like trying to like context frame each one. Is there an issue? Can you explain? Yeah, you goddamn right there's an issue. Etc, etc, etc. What I'm going to tell you is this. This is a game and you are trapped. You cannot make any of these moves because you will lose. There is a way to win the games, and I appreciate the video game reference there. By staying in your adult state and trying to be calm. And by the way, I will tell you this. You're able to respond in the chat right now, but you have the benefit of everyone in this conversation supporting you and thinking as well. Everyone's throwing out suggestions. You all know that I didn't mean what I said. It's just what you think. And then, and you're all acting as adult actors in the chat. Some of you are doing childish things. So what I've noticed in the chat, you know, I'm sorry you feel that way. That can be quite grating. A bit like saying, calm down, calm down. Yep. You kind of don't have a choice but to play. Like, not playing is a choice in the game, right? None of you use parent. None of you were like, well, a few of you were like, don't talk to me like that. Nobody really used child. Now, in transactional analysis, when you don't have this crossed dynamic here, causing a conflict, I'm drawing on the screen there, see? You actually have a psychological stability. I think possibly, depending on the situation, sometimes the right answer is to be a child back and go, yeah, I'm sorry. Yep, you're right. Internally, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Yep, you're right. Yes, of course. Let's go. Let's go. Let's do it. Suck it up. And later on, I'll give you a solution. I'm sorry you feel that way. Yeah, anything you do is going to enrage. It's going to provide more ammunition. Don't argue or show any emotion, right? you will just become more entangled in the situation. I would say, and all of it totally depends on the short. A parent might need to just be short and get away. Yeah, totally. Yeah, you're 100% right. There's so many devils in the detail. But you have to make a choice. In theory, you shouldn't be colluding with them. But sometimes for safety, you might need to collude with them just to get one event gone. Learn from the negative experience, and then I'll show you some coping mechanisms. Good ones to think about, though. The more you understand what you're going to do in advance, particularly from a transactional perspective, the more you'll understand later on. How about twisting words? Says there's that's getting more into the games. Twisting words is definitely just a tactic. These are like big strategies. Twisting words applies in all of this. I can give you tons of examples of narcissistic behavior. Right. Let's go back. Let's walk our way back from this, this way of controlling behavior down to this emotional black thing, and we'll go back into here. Okay, everybody take a breath with me. In. Hold it for a couple of seconds. Take your hands off your keyboards. The chat doesn't need any more chats. Just for a moment, let the chat breathe. And then hold it for 4 seconds. And then let it out for 4 seconds. If you feel like you can copy me, that's great. Out your mouth, in your nose, out your mouth. 4 seconds, called box breathing. Just, okay. I wanted, and I made a note of this because I really want to talk about this. Deep breath, we're going back in. Deep breath, we're not done. You asked for this. When you start thinking what you say, yeah, well, these are quite confrontational. So TDK, Gian, is that the way to say it? What you're doing there is you're literally saying from your controlling parent, and you're trying to have a go at their child, and that's going to give you the biggest X you possibly can. If you do that, you're going to have, that's the grounds for the biggest conflict. And unfortunately, the narcissistic person in this scenario will benefit from that. They'll love it, and they'll often use it as a form of social currency. I love Chloe J's suggestion only because it entertains my child. I'm kind of childish. Chloe J says, I would rather adjust my life to your absence than adjust my boundaries to your disrespect. I actually like that one. I just like that as a pre-prepared thing to say. I think that's really wonderful. Right. From narcissistic meaning on games, we're going to go down here. I have pre-prepared this one. I want to talk about something called the double bind. Don't Google it if you don't know what it is. Be honest. Seriously. Double bind. You guys know what double binds are, even if you haven't heard it referenced this way. There's 2 types of double bind. Okay. So has anyone ever heard of it is kind of like a catch-22. Is this Mike's BDSM tells right? You got to stop this. That's how rumors start. You're not my real dad. Double bind, no, not D&D. You're good. Right, let's go. Let's just do it. Just because of my throat. You guys remember particularly the Monty Python sketch of the witch drowning, yes? And basically this is this idea that in the medieval ages, poor single lady, any age, was just accused of being a witch. Many of you are ahead of me now. You got the witch trial. Okay. You've all been subjected to this as well. You will click in a minute. Then the chat will go wild. The witch trial double blind. And in the Middle Ages, if there was any doubt as to whether or not, because witches had to be killed. You had to burn witches. It's just a thing, right? But like, how do you know? How do you know if someone's a witch? Well, you drown them. Because if the witch, if the woman drowns and dies, obviously, then she was innocent. And she's dead. Okay? So if she drowns, she's dead. Okay, let's just say she's a smart lady and she holds her breath and floats on the surface of the water, as all of you can do, even if you're not fully aware of it. Sorry, water is my big thing. And like, you can float on water, no problem. If you just know what to do with your body and, you know. We are naturally buoyant, FYI. You kind of have to work to drown, unless the waves, you know. If you float in, you must be a witch. And then they're going to burn you. And you're dead. Either way, foregone conclusion, you're dead. Now, this is when you otherwise known as the Kafka trap. And basically it's a foregone conclusion. You are setting someone up. You're setting someone up with two conflicting messages, so that no matter which one they choose, they are wrong. These are your choices. It doesn't matter which one it is. I'm going to give you a couple of examples. Meg, yes, that's correct. I can just tell you this. Some of you are being a bit defensive. You're being a bit defensive. You must hide. You must be hiding something. You must have something to hide. You're being defensive. You must have something to hide. Have any of you ever been told to speak up more because you're too quiet? I have. I've been in quite a few family events where I've been told that, you know, is there something wrong? Why are you so quiet? You need to speak up more. And I've also been told, you're oversharing. Shh, what are you saying? Shut the fuck up. How about this? I've got another one for you. Tell me if any of this is making any of you uncomfortable. Oh, look, please stop making everything about your autism. It's not all about you, and it's not all about your autism. How's that? All of this stuff is from the recesses of my mind. It's a pleasure to share it with you before I put it back down there where it belongs. Red Jen, yeah. Well, all of you, actually. Yeah, I want to say same to every single person here. Smile, yep. That's more of a one directed at feminine people. That is definitely directed at feminine people. Esmeralda, why? Why are you being like this? This is not a game. I'm serious. What do you mean I'm scary? Is it because I've made notes about all of this stuff or what? What bit is scary? I'm trying to figure it out. How can you smile? Well, yeah. Can I create a third way? Sort of. We'll get to stuff in a minute. Okay. Esmeralda. Roll. Okay. Okay. Accepts innovation. Ignore during event. This is absolutely fine. Heads I win tells you. Yeah. Heads I win tells you lose. Yes. In France. Yes. In Britain as well. Pick up a cat and reassure us you're still you. I have one over here. Trapping my paws. Down come the claws. Hit me. It's okay, everyone. Hit me. Hit me. It's to hydrate. Hit me. The role playing's coming out of nowhere. It's not really. It's not actually. The role playing ain't coming out of nowhere. It's a lifetime of this shit. I mean, I can just make meme videos if you want. It works for me. I mean, I can turn up every week and drop memes and do nothing else. I'm not even joking. like we could do that. I can just have a meme channel. You asked for this. You asked for it public, and now it's live. What more could I do for you all? Stop making excuses, says Leslie. Oh, well. It is dot. I'm back. Oh, Charlie, you missed the truly evil stuff. Cat cuddle break. I forgive you, but won't forget. Yeah, I'm performing for you guys. I'm performing. Like, I'm doing a performance. We are going to be moving off Narcissism in a moment, but I just want to finish it off because we haven't finished the double bind yet. I'm gonna mix it up. So I think of the live streams as the ADHD side of the channel. Sharon, first time participating in the live stream chat. Okay, I will quickly say this. Thank you very much for supporting me. This is not usual. This is because this particular stream is not. Look at my other live streams. Just click the live tab and you'll see what's on offer. You see what happens. But like, it's like this stream. My intention is for this. Well, like literally, people asked for it. Like the audience really wanted it, and I'm trying my best. And I hope it helps people. I hope the stuff you can take away from this. These are literally my notes. This is what I spent so much. We sleep all day. We play games after this, right? Like after this, members only. If you support me on Patreon, on any of my tiers, even the lowest kitten tier, there's access to the Discord server where we do games and we'll have a blast and it'll be fun and party time. But like right now, I'm just trying to like get some stuff out there. Yeah, the Kafka trap. Right, we're going to move on from the Kafka trap. Damn it, Mike. Now look what you made me do. Please don't let any of this shit become memes. Please don't let any of this shit become actual memes. This cannot become channel lore. This is bad. Can I let you all into a secret? I can let you into a secret. There's not many people here. I can let you into a secret, right? I can tell you a secret. Okay. So that gets on the screen. I will let you into a secret. Is everyone ready for the secret? You ready? I'm super busy at the minute. Like I don't know whether I'm coming or going. I am like skirting under the cloud of burnout. I am pulling myself away from it and then getting back to it. I am really energy wise sailing close to the limit. 2025 has not been a great year for me. What I'm trying to say, I've forgotten. Oh, that's right. I remember now. What I'm trying to say is, and this is not, I'm not actually playing now. I'm telling you something secret, which is that the video on Sunday was actually a really easy one for me to make. My Sunday video, it's not sitting through papers and research, and most of the research papers I read are just trash, and I can't link them to anything else. I'm just, you know, like only about like 2% of what I read ever makes it into a YouTube video. I read really widely, and I just didn't have any fucking time. And I'm doing the ABA project, and it's just like, I'm becoming an ABA therapist, you know, like Kaylin and other BCABs. Because I'm making a video about it, and I'm committed to the methods, okay? Bitten off more than I can chew, but I'm committed. And the point is Sunday's video was 45 minutes long. Hear me out, guys. But actually, it didn't take me that long to make. Sunday's video did not take me very long to make. That was probably the most time-efficient video I have ever made by miles. Do you want to know why? Because it's just all there. The whole Games We Play thing is something that I've understood for quite some time, and I read the book like 20 plus years ago, and blah 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 blah. But like the video is very easy to make. There's no filler in it. I recorded for an hour and a half. I cut it down to 45 minutes. I thought it was 15 minutes. Do you know that, guys? I thought I did 15 minutes when I actually did an hour and a half. You guys aware of that? Because it's like, holy shit. That's what I'm trying to share with you all. Last Sunday's video, 45 minutes. You must be thinking, wow, Mike's got tons of time to put into this. I didn't. That video was just straight. I just made a few notes and just went for it. You'll notice there are hardly any cuts in it too. It was just literally, yeah, time is weird. And like, I just went for it, and I just cut it, and it was easy to make that video. So easy. And normally it's like an hour per minute of footage. That's a 45-hour video, but it wasn't. It took me maybe a day and a half. So 12 hours. The video took me 12 hours to make. Literally 12 hours. 12 full hours from start to finish. And that's fast. Because normally it's an hour per minute of finished video. And I didn't spend 45 hours on it. It was a day and a half-ish. And, you know, ask an autistic person to tell you about the times when they're being manipulated, and they know and they can see it. And I'm not asking for validation, guys. I'm just what I'm trying to tell you, literally what I'm trying to blow your mind with, because it blows my mind, is like this particular subject. It's just everywhere. Yeah, the lid of Pandora's box. It's like, doof. Lissa, so would I. I would subscribe to that channel too. I would go straight in there. Yeah. It's not just the flow state. It's just like, well, everything's here. Have any of you ever tried to like make a meal and you open your fridge and you're like, oh, for fuck's sake, what am I going to make with 1 carrot and some butter? And then all of a sudden you open up the fridge and there's everything's in there and it's all laid out. It's all there. And you're like, oh yeah, well, I've got to put something together now. Oh, this will be easy. Just grab random shit. And that's what I did on Sunday. It's as simple as that. And today's a bit more organized. These are my notes. It's just do some scribbles before coming on stream. Normally I do no preparation before coming on stream. Most streams have got 0 prep. Every day. I hope you all read Meg's message there. There was a disclaimer at the beginning of the video also. It's really important that you're aware. Right. Oh yeah, I made a mistake. There are 2 types. But it's the witch trial and the double bind. The Kafka trap and the double bind. These are the 2 types. I'm sorry. So we've got the Kafka trap and the double bind. There you go. I've got no, I'll zoom in now. I've got no razor. But it's Kafka trap and double bind. Those are the 2 types. It's not double bind, Kafka trap, and double bind something else. It's double bind and Kafka trap. That's what it is. So the double bind itself is literally setting someone up with 2 conflicting messages, and it doesn't matter what they choose, you're wrong. This is your double question trap. You know, this is the tell me if you're uncomfortable. Oh, stop making it all about you. Oh, speak up. Oh, shut up. You're speaking too much, oversharing. You're defensive, which means you must be hiding something. You know, let me look in your diary. If you've got nothing to hide, then it'll be fine. Okay. It's an LL. It's a lose-lose. You know, there's no win here. It's just lose-lose. You lose. Yeah, heads you lose, tails you lose. Yep, etc. That's your double bind. That's what double bind means. The Kafka trap is predetermined, but so is the double bind. These 2 things are basically under the same sort of umbrella. We do need to probably talk about solutions to this. I'll do a quick reprise. Narcissistic mind games. We have gaslighting, which isn't really I don't believe gaslighting is a category. Gaslighting is a tactic. Gaslighting is a strategy that permeates everything else. You all know about gaslighting. You guys could hold court better than I can on gaslighting. I'm sure of it. Everyone knows what gaslighting is. If you don't, look it up. We talked about it earlier. It exploits difficulties with interpreting social cues and a sense of fairness. This is my take on why it's so effective against autistic people. And this reason for it, like why go to the effort of gaslighting? Don't forget that every single time somebody gaslights intentionally, they're taking a risk. They're taking a risk that you'll call them out on your bullshit and never speak to them again. You know this. But every single time it weakens your defenses, it makes you doubt yourself. It weakens your psychological defenses. So it's quite plausible that someone will try the Kafka trap on you, the double blind. They'll try the emotional blackmail. They'll try the love bombing. If those things don't work, they'll do more gaslighting to weaken you and then continue with these things. This is the attack stuff. This is the weakening stuff. There's probably other weakening tactics I can't think of. If you want me to talk about one, just dump it in the chat. Love bombing, I described it in one story as flirty fishing, or at least that's how it was described to me, which exploits the autistic drive for acceptance and validation. We can deal with this. I'll tell you how in a minute. Yeah, it's a DOT attack. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's loop on loop. It is, yeah. This is why I do not like my diagram, because gaslighting is like, it permeates the rest. Isolation of people. Fuck me. Yes. That's a good one. Yeah, this happened to me big time. Isolation is big. Isolation is massive, by the way. It's a huge thing. Isolation is like, oh, the silent treatment? That's fuck off, Harriet. I'm joking. I'm joking. Oh, thank you for the giggle, Harriet. Thank you so much for the giggle. That's really sweet. I'll take it in a very positive way. Oh, thank you, Harriet. I hope you didn't hear me say fuck off and actually took it literally. That cuts. Dude, that is a burn. That's an actual psychic damage. So I was just like, it's not influenced by Dr. K. It's not. Someone said silent treatment. I want to know that Harriet's okay. I hope Harriet's all right. Harriet could now do the "now I've got you, you son of a bitch," and go, "Why were you so rude to me?" You see what I'm trying to say? I'm not saying that's the case at all. Harriet's great. But that did make me jump. Dropping Dr. K in the chat like that. There needs to be a rule about that. Right. Isolation and gaslighting. Yeah, this happens a lot. Isolation is really important. So look, isolation is not really like one of the tactics. It's like, it's separate. Isolation and gaslighting are separate from the other stuff, in my belief, in my understanding. And the reason for that is like, isolation is like a direct attack on all of the stuff that's external to that person, and gaslighting is everything that happens inside that person. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So like, if the target looks like this is you, okay, that's you, right? And this is other people over here, and there's all other people over here. These are all people that could be like your friends or whatever, or people you used to know. Cults do this as well. Ask me how I know. Harriet, I'm still stunned. That was actually, do you know what? I'm not gonna. That's not a problem, but it was funny. Holy shit. Hey, look, for the avoidance of doubt, I'm not saying all of Dr. K's content was bad, but there was definitely Meg. Harriet is long time autistic. Isolation works on this stuff. Gaslighting is sort of like a cloud that works in here. Do you know what I'm trying to say? You get me, right? Like, I need an eraser. I can't use the eraser tool right now. I sort of want to break these links because they don't really belong there. Because I don't think isolation and gaslighting are narcissistic mind games. They're just not. They're, in my opinion, IMO. They're like tactics. Like these are games. Like emotional blackmail, guilt, fear, obligation. The purpose is to control someone's behavior. That's an actual control move right here. Whereas isolation is kind of like, it makes it easier. It makes this stuff more powerful. Like if somebody's isolated from everyone, if somebody's isolated from everyone, you can love bomb them easy. Oh my God. Like this shit is like the sort of shit that Andrew Tate teaches. You know this, like get a girl, isolate them, slap them, this sort of thing. Oh, then do whatever you want. We are humans and we have vulnerabilities. And I think by being aware of the vulnerabilities, we can do something about it. And that's what I want to talk about. Gaslighting, on the other hand, is like, gaslighting is often used to create isolation. True, yeah. Yeah, totally. Yeah, absolutely. But gaslighting kind of affects your internal psyche. Silent treatment, I think, can come into gaslighting. Silent treatment is like a whole other game, by the way. Like the whole silent treatment has been well done under here. We've got... this is a good book, but it is hard to read. It's very small. Oh, someone's going to win the book. We have to do the book giveaway. We'll do that draw in a little bit. Stay tuned. Oh, there's some good ones on here. Let's come back to it. Watching a live stream of man reading book is not that invigorating. Silent treatment we can do as a transactional analysis. We can actually break that apart. But we need a scenario. We can't just say, oh, this person's not talking to this person, therefore we need to like scenario it. And then we can then you can scenario how to get somebody out of that as well. Right, okay. Let's talk about how to deal with these things. Are we good? Are we good to move on? Can we quickly talk about some positive stuff? It's not positive stuff actually. It's actually pretty shit. Right. I'm sorry to tell you. Where does passive aggressive comments belong? Well, passive aggressiveness. Passive aggressiveness is pervasive, and it kind of provides that motivation for a game. So, for example, up here. So, you know, if it weren't for you, is a good example of that. Really good example of that. So the motivation here, which I've done as an autism mom, and the motivation here is external social advantage, and I'm upset because my child has autism, and then they film it and upload it to the world. A lot of the time, passive aggressiveness is used because outright aggressiveness is not kind of permitted. I did an example here of, there are two levels to every communication, the social level and the psychological level. Okay. So for example, the social level, I used an example of, hey, do you want to come out for drinks? A few of us are going out for drinks later. Not sure if you want to come. Would you like to come? You'd be welcome. And this is me. And they told me to go to the wrong place. And they did it on purpose. And they thought it was funny. On the psychological level, I was not welcome. On the social level, very much so. If anybody were to, if it were written communication, if it were an email or a text or a chat or something, it would be like beautiful. Like it would be like, oh, that's so sweet. That's really lovely. But actually, no, it's not. It's really bad. It looks like I'm outside a midlife crisis. I'm doing a lot of things at the moment, guys. I've got a lot going on. Right. I saw an interview with a young psychopath. Yeah. Well, you know, I don't even know if it's fair of me to call a psychopath sort of, for example, neurotypical. But I am saying allistic, although you can have autistic psychopaths, I suppose. Right. Narcissistic mind games. Let's talk about dealing with it. Because there's every chance I'm just going to lose my voice, and let's do it. Let's talk about. I just need to draw a line so I know where I can draw safely. Right. That's the safe line for me. Cool. Right. Okay. I made a few notes, but I think we're going to have to talk out loud here. Say you find yourself in a situation where you're dealing with, I'm just going to say a narcissist, but it's kind of vague and large. But if you're new here, you're going to have to just rewind. Okay, this is what you can do. shall we do two things? Let's do tactics and let's do strategy. Okay, let me just make that clearer. Right. Do you understand what I mean by strategy and tactics? So with strategy, we're talking about like your overarching vision. Like this is the premise by which you know, the reason why. So for example, if this were a war, it's not dissimilar. If this were a war, this is the whole war. This is the strategy. This is what you're going to do. This is very top level. Okay. Values. I'm going to write values. Okay. All right. Cool. We're good with that. And under tactics, what we're talking about here is actually like small units. This is the things you do. Like this is like tips slash do this. Ugh, I don't know if I'm writing it right. Okay. Now I'm going to say I am not a psychotherapist. I am an autistic man. I'm a software engineer. I'm a small business owner. Long time. Just take it or leave it. I've had Brittany, relax and observe. I will show you how to cook. So you've probably realized by now, particularly when we were brainstorming earlier, during the P2C thing, and you'll find that when we PC'd this over here under control behavior, all right, when we PC'd this and we talked about the chat, if anyone's watching this back, you probably want to rewatch it with the live chat replay on, so you can see all of the stuff that was happening. I was doing an inadvertent role play and some people got upset, and so it was brilliant. But like all of the suggestions were unfortunately not really working. And the simple answer is because I know that they won't work. When the narcissist is emotionally blackmailing you with guilt, fear, and obligation, the purpose of it is to control your behavior. And it's really fucking effective. And if we go down here to your strategy, and you can't say, oh, the solution's not to play. This person might have power over you. This could be a boss and you need the job. You need that work. This person could be a family member. It could be a parent. This person could be an intimate partner. Okay? This stuff is not so simple as walking away like, ah, fuck you guys, grabbing your ball and Eric Cartmaning it and getting, I'm going home. It's not as simple as that. But I think you've realized how futile it is. So the strategy is flat effect autists are going to have the advantage on this. So under strategy, I'm just going to do strategy first. I think that makes sense. And then tactics. I don't know. Guys, what happens is what happens. Okay. Let's just do that. Okay. S, strategy, top level values. Don't argue or show emotion. Simple as that, right? You're going to need to really work on that adult ego state and go, fucking hell, it's them, not me. Take a deep breath. Okay. You're going to have to just breathe. All right. Don't argue or show emotion. If you do, You will become more entangled. It's really that straightforward. Grey Rock is a good one. Zephyr Pixel. Admittedly, I will tell you what will happen. You will have some horrible shit thrown back at you. Oh God, Harriet Windbank's come in here with a great piece of advice for those in work. If it's at work and you have at least employment rights, put everything in writing. Yes. Make a fucking folder. Put everything in there. Don't ask for confirmation. Yeah, just put everything. Yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, some of these strategies, this is my strategies. What about when in meltdown? Oh, holy shit. You got to deal with this before meltdown. You just B. Well, I had to admit the name of this channel to my spouse if he asked directly, so I guess that cat's out of the bag. What do you mean, B? Are you ashamed of me? I'm joking. I'm just messing with you. Hey, look, it's not as bad as having Autistic AF on the fucking living room TV when family comes over. What's Autistic AF? Why does it look like Mike? Sorry, guys. I'm in it now. Brittany, do me a favor. I've got what you're saying. I have picked up what you're saying. I need you to just stop right now. Just it's okay. I got it. And I need you also to watch this whole video, particularly the first hour. It will answer your question. And we can reprise it if I have any energy after I finish this. Okay. Don't argue or show emotion. If you do, you will become more entangled. It's as simple as that. You are going to have some fire back at you. Okay. By doing this, you are going to have, you're going to enrage them, but it will be less. Deadpan is fine, but I've got another solution to deadpan. Just one moment. How good are you guys at making decisions? I'm sorry, this looks a little bit like the Saw movie. The winning move is to not get hooked in, exactly. Always. Are you guys okay reading this? Can you see it? Right. Let me talk you through it. And if you're wondering where I'm writing that from, I've actually made these notes before coming onto the stream. I was typing this shit while you were all waiting. Okay, I'll make it big for your prescription. There you go. I'm going to make it as big as I can. I have tried. I'm trying. Really struggled. Really struggled. First thing. Don't argue or show emotion. If you do, you will become much more deeply entangled. Okay? You're going to get flamed for that. These are not the tactics, by the way. This is just a strategy. And this is a personal strategy. Steal from it. Rip me off. I won't copyright claim you. Just do it. Make a choice. Harriet, we're going to get onto tactics in a second. You're so ahead of me. It's insane. It's not insane. Sorry. I'm sorry for my language. I'm a kid of the 80s. I say things like, I barely say sick. Like sick was not really a thing when I was a kid. I'm an elder millennial. Right. You have to be comfortable with making choices. I will get to that. Please don't make me explain it right this second. No, fuck it, we'll do it now. Make a choice. It'll be like this comes really down to, you know, are you going to stay? Are you going to leave? Are you going to protect yourself? Are you going to placate temporarily, bide time? If you are in employment, Harriet reminded me, if you are in employment, you might wish to play the game while looking for some other job or something. Like, if you know that you can suffer through it for 4 weeks, do you know what I'm trying to say? And you can go, right, the 14th of June is my last fucking day. After the 14th, but I can fix them. Never, ever say that, Soup. No, never, ever, no. You get a facsimile of fix. Do you know who can fix them? Themselves, after a long ass fucking time of mind mapping and document creation. Then maybe. But make a choice. You have to make that choice. You just, that's it. And don't dwell. I know it's easier said than done, but it's just like, make a choice, get it done. Just do it. I'll give you an example. Apologies if this happens to anyone in advance. But for example, right now I have to work really, really hard. I am working at the maximum capacity of my energy right now. I've got nothing else to give. This is as much as I can do. So if I have to time someone out, I'm going to just be like spamming buttons on the screen, and it's possible other people are going to get timed out that didn't need to be timed out. If that happens, I ask you for a bit of understanding, but I'm comfortable with it. I'm sorry. It's not often had to happen, but I've made a choice before even starting. I have taken the stress out of my brain and gone, look, if it has to happen, it has to happen. Just get on with it and carry on. Does that make sense? Because in the heat of an argument with someone that's trying to trip you up, a narcissistic sorcerer that knows everything they can do to trip you up, you need every ounce of mental acuity that you have. You need all the love and support you can get to get through that. You're up against a higher level character. What are you going to do? Know what your limits are. Just make a choice and go with it. And that's it. Just live with it. Make a choice, do it. Sleep, make your bed, sleep in it. Make a choice. That's what I mean by it. And I do mean it in a Saw-like way, as in live or die. Make a choice. It's kind of the case. Make the choice in advance. Okay, I'll give you one. You guys remember when I banged my head, yeah? Alan Williams asked, what is timed out? And I've just timed you out. So now you know. That's all. There's no reason for it. You're not breaking any rules. It's just, here you go. That's what it feels like. So, sorry for time. Just time so what's the time out? There you go. Okay. When I banged my head in the sea, I was tossed by a wave into a rock. I've still got head glue. It's not all gone, but it's not irritating me like it was. And I can wash my hair, and there's no pain really. It's lumpy and stuff, but it's not like, holy shit, I'm being medieval tortured. And like, the thing is, when I made a choice. Oh, I need you guys to hear me because it's super important. My weight belt is like $100. It's $100 on my weight, you know, and I need the weight belt to be in the ocean and not flopping about like a fish on the top, just a dying fish on the top. But I did not waste any time in dumping that weight belt. I've lost it. It's gone. It's in the sea. I just dumped it in the sea. I just went, fuck this, gone. Straight away. I made a choice. I know when I'm in that situation, dump that fucking belt. I've never dumped a weight belt before. I've never done weights on any of my aquatic stuff, ever, except in training. I've never done it. It was the first time. But I didn't spend time just like, you know, I could have drowned, but I didn't because I'd made a choice in advance years earlier. And I've thought it through. I have like considered that's what happens when I'm in trouble, when I know I am in trouble, I'm actually scared. Off it goes. I'm gone. You guys need to know that too. You need to know if you're going to dump that weight belt. You need to know you're going to lose money. People might be ashamed of you. There might be rumors spread about you. There might be all of these consequences. You need to know what the consequences are. You need to know that there will be consequences. I knew when I dumped my weight belt, it's going to be a really hard swim back because I will be super floaty and I wouldn't be able to. I knew that when I dumped my weight belt, I might need the fucking Coast Guard to come and get me because I wouldn't be able to swim back because I was very floaty. And I had camera equipment. Well, I lost that, but then I got it back. But then, you know, I knew there's consequences. I knew dumping that weight belt might mean 999 gets called. And I am not a drama person. To be fair, there's a lot of people that go, oh, look what you made me do. You made me lose it. You owe me money now. Oh, call the ambulance. Rah, rah, rah. There are people that will do that, that enjoy the drama. I just wanted to be small and hidden. But irrespective, think about it. There will be consequences. Make your choice. As the Saw movies say, make your choice, live or die. And usually somebody has to cut an arm off or something. You know, it's a horror movie series. But, you know, yeah, it's like that. Make a choice. That's what that means. Okay. You cannot change other people. Don't even try. You can educate people. You can make a YouTube channel and talk about stuff that you want other people to pick up on. But chances are that are receptive, and it's not going to be people in your family that need to learn about autism. It's going to be other people. It's going to be 30,000 other people. 1.5 million views later. It's going to be, you know, 1.5 million other people, but not the people that you originally made a YouTube channel to educate. That's what's going to happen. You're going to end up homing cats to some of them as well. You can't change other people. As much as you should be able to be changed by somebody else. You don't like the idea that people can manipulate you into doing stuff against your will, do you? Exactly. I've written don't collude. It's personal value. You might decide that colluding in the short term is worthwhile. And I've written learn from the experience of yours and others. All right. Anne-Marie says sometimes the hard part is identifying what the real choices are. Yeah, I can give you some. The loss of your accommodation, huge amount of transitions, change, loss of social standing, loss of resources, maybe losing your job. You may end up with, you know, having to deal with courts. You may end up having to deal with lawyers. You may end up... Listen, like a fire drill. Fire alarm goes off, you follow this path and go to that place. You're in X situation, you drop your weight belt. Yep. You think about it in advance when you're not stressed. Yeah. General Lotter, I can change people. Arson changes a person. No comment. Tee-hee-hee. Right, we good? Right, they're my values. Yours may be different, but I can assure you this is probably what a therapist would say, but I don't know. I'm just a guy on the internet. I'm just a guy on the internet that people won't like watching. Don't ask me if this stuff works. I'm like a wizard that's made up some spells. And I'm saying here, Read this scroll out loud. Your mileage may vary. It might not work for you. Okay. We're going to do tactics and tips, but I'm going to take a 2-minute voice break. I'm not going to speak for 2 minutes. We'll do a 2-minute break, and then we'll be straight back to it. And we'll do this tactics section next. This one here, and I'll fill in things that you can do because we've got some actionable steps you can do. 2 minutes. Just 2 minutes.
Appalachian sunrise meets my skin. Even with my eyes still closed, I can feel it coming in. Golden, golden, I'll follow only golden, 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 golden things. Mountain laurel high fives for miles in spring. Rainbow trout and a hummingbird wing. Golden, I'll follow only golden. Golden, golden things. Gold hair, gold rings, gold leaves, gold anything, golden, I'll follow only golden, golden, golden things.
All right, cool. That was actually 2 minutes. This is just a gentle reminder. Personal stories that I may or may not be giving have had names changed. Do you recognize someone or you think you do? You definitely don't. And also, if anything gets heated for you, finding yourself emotions raised, I know it's difficult for us with Alexithymia all the time, but do exit the stream, have a breathe. It's not for my convenience. This is recorded. You can come back at any point, rewind, whatever, watch on demand. Make yourself a cup of tea, come back. It's what I do, but I'm obviously in control of this and I'm running it, so my comfort is kind of paramount. So don't worry about me, okay? In that respect. But just like if you're finding stuff uncomfortable, please take a break. And we are, of course, we're right into the end section of narcissists. We haven't talked about masking yet. Hopefully we get to it. And to just let you know, I am one person with 2 full-time jobs, a family, and I'm autistic. So if you want therapeutic support, there's a list here for mental health helplines and resources in your area. It's a really cool website. I have played with it loads. It's fantastic. That's what I want to say. Right. Let's get back to it. Can't believe this is working. It's blowing my mind. I thought things would break after all of that. Right. I now have cider. And I think I'll go have ice cream afterwards, after a sandwich. Mike is 3 cats in a trench coat. 3 very large cats. Last night I had to force my 50-pound Maine Coon into his cat bread. I don't know. You're gonna need tactics for that. Oh, and thank you verbally to Meg and to TKD Jan for the super chats, as opposed to super heat, I think is what I wrote. I think I wrote, thank you for the super heat. I mean, yeah, thanks for the super chats. It's great. Appreciate that a lot. You don't have to. I certainly wasn't asking you to. You're both great, and thank you very much. Appreciate it. Yeah, it does mean a lot. It does help. It all goes on supporting the cats. Just keeps them from eating me in my sleep. So am I back? Is everything working? So I've already started writing. Just tell me this is working, because I can quite easily do half an hour and not realize. It's not working, is it? It is working. Yeah, thanks, Pajnika. Cool. Thank you, Harriet. Thank you. Okay. I think people are still breaking. As in, yeah, I think people are still breaking. Three cats and a peacock, says Anne Helen. Cool. Right, I've started with the first one, which is ignore and deflect. You could try them. I did not force you to do anything. Soup. Stop it. I have to time you out for that. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Charlie. Yeah. Is it writing? Should be. Oh, you have to zoom in here. Here we go. Tactics, tips, do this. Ignore, deflect. You could try an instant ignore. You could actually explicitly ignore the manipulation. You see it coming, you sense it, you're aware of it. In D&D terms, you have initiative. What do? Just ignore it and carry on doing what you were doing before. I found this reasonably effective, especially if you've got a poor track record of knowing that it's manipulation. Maybe if you struggle with RSD, you might think everything is manipulation and everyone's out to get you, perhaps. If you have a streak of paranoia, you might be thinking to yourself, oh my God, narcissists everywhere, they're coming for me. If you do the ignore, you're very likely not to trip up anybody's "now I've got you, you son of a bitch" line. You're likely to not escalate anything. If what you're seeing is not manipulation and you ignore it or deflect it, then nothing bad happens. Best viewers are definitely not on stream. Boo. Bye. Where's Yannicka when you need her? So, ignores my go-to. I spot manipulation easy from low experience. Yeah, totally. I tend to try and ignore deflect quite early on. It's one of my first things. If I've accidentally made an error, I forget what category error it's called. When you see a pareidolia, you see a tiger in the bushes and it's not really a tiger, but you run anyway. I mean, you might look a bit silly, but at least you're not going to get eaten. All right. So literally just try and ignore deflect. Okay. This is like the first thing I think everyone should try, unless it's like, it depends on your situation, but most of the time, 99% of the time, a vacant stare is great. What you're going to do. Yeah. That's a bit of a challenge, but like still ignore deflect, then maybe vacant stare. Try that one first. We good with this? How to deal with a smear campaign. Holy shit, this gets even worse. I mean, you're literally talking about the if it weren't for him, ain't it awful type of shit. Very difficult. Mostly wait for it to stop and go away. Most of the time it's not a problem, is it? I Googled myself recently and it was quite surprising. Actually, it was mostly very lovely. You know, you see a couple of comments and people making like weird comments and stuff, and it's like, I think that's probably quite a fun Patreon video, Googling myself. Headphones with raised eyebrow. Yeah, it's very good. Mean, that's passive aggressive. I wouldn't do that. No passive aggressive. You are in your adult mode. Yeah, could you repeat that? Sorry, what did you say? I didn't hear you. Yeah, it's a great one, Esmeralda. Yeah. Depends. If you've got like a blatant narcissist, like an absolute through and through, they've got no problem repeating themselves. But a lot of people that try these tactics on will probably not. they'll probably fade away. This doesn't really apply. It's a fun little story. I used to have a little group of internet friends that I played DayZ with. Harriet Winterbank, you're not famous enough to be on Fake Disorder Cringe yet, Mike. You reckon? It only takes one post. And if you search me on Reddit, there's quite a lot of posts. And they're all really lovely. The vast majority are really, 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 really lovely. But I do get the occasional thing on social media, which I don't really look out for, but I did have a look the other day. I thought this could be good content for a video. What was I saying before you guys throw me? Oh, that's right. Yeah, little Daisy group. And we played some PvP on a server. It's getting back a couple of years ago now. And the group that we were playing against were accusing us of cheating and just making a big drama. And that particular server had a Discord, and they just would not let it drop. And I suggested a voice call with them. And we did a voice call with them, and they just immediately backed down, like immediately backed down. We had one female player, well-spoken American lady, female player, and me, and we both turned up and said, "Hey, what's the issue? What's the problem?" And they just went, a lot of people do just literally just, you know, because they form this idea of who you are in their heads, and they start ranting and raving. And then eventually what happens is, you know, when they're confronted with the actuality of who somebody is, then it just peters away. But ignore, deflect. Yeah, a lot of this advice applies to the internet as well. A lot of people try and manipulate you over the internet. I am thinking in my head mostly about how people are in person. I'm thinking about family relationships mostly when I'm doing this. But yeah, it applies to internet as well. Applies to internet too. Ignore is easier on your phone. You can just ignore. Here's another one. You could say, thanks for your thoughts. You mean it was drama with online video cafes? Yeah, totally, Meg. Yeah, totally. But we had a little chat afterwards, and it was like, I think I know what happened there. And one of my online gaming friends was like, yeah, I think I know what happened there too. She was like, so a girl and a well-spoken Brit popped into a voice chat with them, and they just had no idea what to say. And it's just like, yeah, exactly. Basically, it's just like, because I think I only said like a couple of words, like, I have a screen recording. You know, hope you guys, you know, it can. I've said something about tone and just, you know, moving on, and they were very polite. It was hilarious though. It's very funny. Thanks for your thoughts. You say? Is that good? You have to sit without snark, but yeah, thanks for your thoughts. Blank. Flat effect. Flat effect autists have got the advantage on these two. You get to roll 2 dice and take the highest score. Okay, third one. You ready? If anyone wants to know what whiteboard app I'm using, it's Microsoft Whiteboard. It's just called Whiteboard, MS Whiteboard, and it's rubbish. I need to find another app to use because I can't. It's got no palm rejections. I have to be like super careful. It's just jumping all over the place. The only good thing that it does is it neatens my handwriting for me, which is great. Because as I'm writing, it's like it's automatically tidying it up, which is great. I actually enjoy that. It's nice. This one. If you can crack a joke, you can literally just diffuse it, make it go away. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to rely on that every single time, you know, charismatic performance check every single time. Very tiring, but it can work. That's where my sense of humor comes from. Master Street roll 2 dice and take the highest score. Exactly. Yep. Yep. If you're flat effect, you can roll the top 2 with advantage. Told you I'd drop a D&D reference in. Okay. Now, this is going to sound to you a little bit like a plug. Find a supportive environment. This is absolutely fundamental. And let me explain. If you want to know about somebody, you can look at the people that they keep and the people around them. Because we tend to become very similar to, or get anchored by, that's probably the better term, that's a much better term. We get sort of anchored and grounded. Anchor means not really grounding, it means kind of like reference point. Like if you somehow get adopted by a group of rich yacht people, that will become your new understanding of what normal looks like, as opposed to just unbelievably wealthy. You'll begin to think that's kind of like median. And this actually, it is a bit of a bug in human programming, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. It is a scratchy post. I shit you not. It's a scratchy post, but whatever. This thing here, isolation, it plays into this. If you know there are people around you that either have your back or at least provide a, it's not about what you can get, is what I would say. But it is about what you become. And you become much stronger and much more difficult for a narcissist to break into. You become really difficult for a narcissist to get in there, because you've got this. This isn't a shield. This is just showing internal. Gaslighting is internal. Isolation is external. Gaslighting can be external as well if you've got a powerful narcissist. You can think of it like upcasting a high-level spell or something. Because you can get somebody that gaslights everyone around you. You can have people gaslight massively as well and spread rumors. It becomes quite tricky at that point. But yeah, depending on who you keep around you depends entirely. Why does the internet do internet things? I don't have to say this. I'm not obligated to, but there are other communities are available too, and there are not so good ones. And I'm not even shitting you. But the fact of the matter is yeah. I'm not even joking, guys. Like, I mean, my quest to find autistic community after my diagnosis was mostly unfruitful. I joined shitloads of Discords, FYI. If there's we're talking like early mid 2023. If there was a Discord to do with neurodivergence or autism or whatever, I was in it. I joined fucking shitloads. Shit. Well, I thought this guy was supposed to go. It's not. But like, find supportive environment, people around you, and like good little things. everybody here, I'll pay you later, whatever it is. I don't know, XP or something. But like, no, seriously. Yeah. Moon Pearl, message me on Patreon and I can provide you with some direction. The issue is probably that you're using an app and you need to use a PC or laptop web browser, and you go to your Patreon settings and the option to join creators Discords are in there. It's strange. Patreon currently has an active issue, and they have had for quite some time. I'm just flashing up some stuff here. Like, like I don't know, just read it yourself. Like, this is not a cult, guys. I promise you. Micah got an @20 roll on a Ginger Discord like them apples. Actually, I actually found that autistic Twitter was highly questionable. Yeah, fair enough. I am led to understand. I had a conversation with Quinn about this. But apparently, it started off well, but really went downhill rapidly, like so fast. And yeah, the vibes are good. Yes, the Discord is a perk of my Patreon. It is a perk of Patreon. There are videos as well, all kinds of other stuff. And I have indeed. Is there an age range for scratching post? I can tell you what the age range is. This is not a plug, by the way, about finding a supportive environment. This is actually irrespective of Discords and things. We'll have a non-Discord chat in a second, but like the age range is actually quite wide. Average age is about 30, 35. However, we have a lot of people over 60 on it. So we have a glut of people under 30, a glut of people over 60, and it kind of looks like a two humps. Right, let's continue. Find a supportive environment. So let's ignore Discord for a second on Patreon. This is just is there a friend IRL? I can promise you this. So before any Discords or anything else were even a thing in my vision or anything, I didn't even know I was autistic. I had 2 ADHD friends. I have 2 excuse me. I had 2 ADHD friends. I don't know where I'd be without them. I'm not saying it's been smooth sailing. Conflict with them has been great. It's hard. That's a bad way thing to say, isn't it? But like having people that have the value of safety and I guess sanctity might be a good term to use. Insofar as like you talk to them and they're not going to go and share it with a billion other people. So you can have kind of like intimate is the wrong term to use. It's intimate in the terms of games people play, which means you're not playing games. That's kind of like that for me has been everything. That changed so much for me. And I definitely wouldn't be here. I don't think I would have survived without them through some really difficult time. And that's how I met Nina. And like so much good stuff has happened in my life as a result of having even just this proto supportive environment in real life around me. Just having that. I'm not on any social media. I do have social media for Autistic After 40. I do have Autistic AF social media accounts. I don't really use them, as you might have noticed. I do intend to at some point, but I'm not going to get distracted. I have limited time and energy. I have limited spoons, and I'm currently in my spoon overdraft. Miss Pat Van Driver Lady. The most important factor in human happiness is having at least one person to be really open and honest with safely. 2 or 3 is even better. There you go. And it makes you... I haven't read the chat. I can read the chat. see you talking about Patreon and Discord. I hope you, yeah, feel free to join anyone. You can do it as just a month if you want to try it out. There is also a 5% discount for an annual subscription. But yeah, I think that's absolutely true. I think IRL as well as internet. I don't want to say virtual. I mean, we've had people meeting up from the Discord community. We have an engagement to celebrate. We have so much going on. We've spawned like D&D campaign and Cards Against Humanity for those that like that sort of thing, and so on and so forth. There's been, there's offshoots, there's spin-offs, whatever you want to call it. But it serves this wider goal. And it's fucking fun and great. It's going to be brilliant, and I can assure you of something. We should do some meetups at some point. Like, hell yeah, we'll figure it out at some point. I looked on Fern Brady's website and saw she wasn't touring. She just finished one. Anyway, I wonder if I'll still be watching when I was 40. If you're talking about this YouTube channel, I hope so. Johnny, Mike would be so old then. Yeah. Okay. And the final one. You have one life. And you have one life, and spending it dealing with drama is not worth it. Anything can happen. You should live life to the best of your ability and not harm people along the way, etc., etc. It's philosophy shit, but like, get away. There's no benefit to serving anyone by dealing with bullshit from a narcissist. A big meetup in Denver. Yeah, there's a realistic probability of doing a Denver, Colorado one. There's a lot of autists in Denver, Colorado. There's quite a few people from the Scratching Post in Denver, Colorado. Jen from Neurodivergent is Colorado. So there we go. Get away. That's absolutely key. That's absolutely key. Get away. Are we all talking about the Scratching Post rather than like my presentation on narcissism? I'm just having a little scroll. Can you guys like, am I even in the room right now? Like, what's just happened to the stream? I'm reading the chat. Are we all like time delayed or something? What the fuck, guys? Sorry. What can we say? Well, I'll just go to bed. No, that's all. We're not even done, but I think I'm done now. I wanted to talk about masking. My only note is masking in quotation marks. We love this guy. I thought it said get angry. Yeah, I mean, do you know what? Tactical show, tactical show of energy can be helpful, but honestly, I think strategically, don't argue or show emotions. I will put this on Patreon as well. I'll put this on Patreon, so you can kind of like zoom into it and actually see it properly. I'm sorry it's shit. I could possibly remake it at some point and do a nice one. No, do you know, if I put it on Patreon, I might put it on Discord, because if I put it on Patreon, everyone who isn't even a member on Discord, because a lot of people on Patreon are not involved in Discord, they'll see this and they'll go, what the fuck is going on here? And then they'll... oh, Amanda, thank you. Bite them. The movement away. What? The audio HD's got distracted. No, Badger Fox. It is shit when you get this with no context. It looks like somebody's on drugs with no context. It's purely but look at this. With no context. Bad shit. This is supposed to say social level and psychological level. What even is this? Where does that go? That's me leaving. Meg, like, I don't know that there's any value to that, or it's a good use of your time. I would say no. If you want to, I mean, knock yourself out. But like, you know, but and I decided that wasn't right. That's not supposed to be there. That's it. Jas, welcome to your first live stream. It's not always like this, okay? But right now it's been like that. Doogie saw my martini glass. Okay, and then this one here, it was fun. I enjoyed playing the bad guy wins. I think some of you didn't notice. I don't know. I didn't even see. Oh, there's no like formulas though. Do you know what? There are actually formulas. Transactional analysis actually has like really complicated formulas. I don't care for it, to be honest. I'm being quite basic about it. For the record, because this is filmed, I'll quickly say masking as well is actually kind of a game which isn't actually discussed anywhere. No one's talked about it as far as I can tell. I think masking is a game that we play where we pretend to be... Shall I just quickly draw it? Yeah, let me quickly draw it. Should we go somewhere else so it doesn't affect this thing? Let's go over here. There's some space. Right. Shit. Where do we end up? Right, just below this meme. And the D&D thing. Just below the meme and the D&D thing. Okay, so about here? That's good. Okay. This is more complicated than you think, by the way. I'm like scrolling on here and I'm like 2 fingers on here. Right, okay. Let's do it. Let's do PAC very quickly. Very quick masking example. Just deliver the value. At this rate, guys, I'm going to have nothing to make content about because it's all done. Right. PAC. Masking. This is you. Or me. Whatever. Autist, basically. That's the autism column. And this is someone else. And you're a typical. Okay. Okay. We good? I shouldn't have done circles, but whatever. Because that's all of you. That's your parent. Sorry, yeah, here, like, this is your parent, this is your adult ego state, this is your child ego state, parent, adult, child. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you're in the wrong place. You need to watch the video from last Sunday first. I feel like sometimes I'm kind of playful a lot of the time. And it's not really an adapted child, it's just sort of natural child, sort of playful child. I've just written the word playful. We'll zoom in, right? Like, see playful, yeah. I don't know what a playful child looks like. And a playful child will sometimes communicate with other playful children. And I've seen quite a bit of that with you guys on the stream tonight. There's been an awful lot of that where you've dropped something funny in the chat and you've just been badoosh. There you go. Playful child. Brittany Daniels, have a good old look at my video on Sunday. It's 45 minutes long. I think it's quite good. It's not edited that well because I didn't have time. But it's rich in content as opposed to this being very waffly and hard to follow. There's been an awful lot of playful child to child over here. And then there's been an awful lot back. And I don't know if that is because my vibe is playful child. I think. I don't know. It's hard. We're not the best examples of ourselves. And other kids, or other, child ego states coming back at you. It's kind of like how we often are, particularly in the scratching post. Not just on a child sort of things. We've got everything going on in the scratching post. We've got nurturing parents responding. Sorry, I'll just zoom out. We've got sort of nurturing parents responding to, hey, help me, I've got this idea or this thing's going on, I've got this problem. We've got tons of adult-to-adult transactions. What we don't have in the scratching post are a hell of a lot of crossed transactions. So we don't have, I do think it's playful. It could be that, yeah. So I'm going to quickly do a mask for you. I'm going to leave that on the screen because it's an example. Right, cool. So masking would be, I'm going to try, because this is the end of the stream, so it doesn't sort of matter if I mess it up. I want to move your eraser faster to make it bigger. Right. So on a scratching post, this is how it goes down. Playful child, and then playful child, back again. Oh wow, that's nice and sparkly. Isn't that pretty? Back that way. Does that make sense? That makes sense, right? Now, if I rub that out, and I go to, say it's a family event of some description. My mum is very playful, so that doesn't really apply. Because our mum and I, we play. But otherwise, it's quite turgid. So I kind of want to play from sort of playful child, but have to mask. And I think that masking in this context happens here. I think this is masking. I think masking happens here, somewhere between the parent and adult ego states. You can't really mask as a child, really, unless you kind of like, unless you're looking after kids and you're sort of really putting a lot of energy in to pretend to be childish and play with them. So I think I think for me it's quite tiring, because a lot of the time I'm not really sort of, why do we have to take things seriously all the time? Because a lot of the time I am. My YouTube videos tend to be made in all three ego states. Mostly adult, I think. There's quite a bit of admonishment from me. I admonish on my debunking videos. I tend to be adult to adult, going in that direction. This continues. These lines continue. They're not short, stubby. Well, they are short, stubby, but like I just can't be bothered to draw it all. But you know what I mean? Like adult to adult, a lot of my content is, and occasionally I do sort of like child to child sort of thing. I'm doing like a meme review or something, or just having some fun. It goes that way. So this is me. This is what I tend to do, I think. But when child is not an option, you have to switch to a different ego state. And it's really, I think I find tiring is like, if I'm in a family event and there's kids, I get looked down on if I act, like sort of childish with the kids. So I'm kind of like nurturing parent to their child. That's kind of the direction it goes, like that. And okay, and that's just masking, right? I'm sort of playing a role that I don't want to play, but I'm being that guy. I'm just sort of looking after the kids, making sure they're not sort of hurting each other and that sort of thing. The eraser is terrible on this whiteboard app. Really, really bad. Okay. And I think alcohol comes into effect as well. because it moves people from, say, for example, the parent ego state and the adult ego state down to sort of the child. And then they can, they can only do this with alcohol. I think a lot of people rely on alcohol to be able to do that move. Does that make sense? I've missed the entire chat while I've been doing it. I like you, Charles. Circles at the end, all smiles and waving. Yeah, thanks, Nikki. Yeah, I'm just having fun. I'm playing. Okay, so one more for you. Exactly the same sort of thing. And it's this. Playful child has to be adapted. So it turns from sort of like playful child into an adapted one, where it stops playing. And this happens from like bullying. It happens because of training, ABA therapy. I don't know. I like it. You become an adapted child, ego state predominantly, rather than a play one. And you sort of lose the sort of joy and sense of wonder. And don't forget, Chloe Hayden, people were doing this with Chloe Hayden. They were like, they were doing this. Why are you happy? Why? Oh, look at you acting like that with the seals. Look at that. No, it's terrible. Rubbish. Oh, that's what I look like when the pizza comes out. That's what that bullying looked like from a transactional analysis perspective. I wish when I touch the eraser and I touch the line, the whole line goes and I don't have to like follow it and accidentally rub everything over. So we have alcohol, people using alcohol to get back to this play, because that only happens when alcohol is involved, obviously. Sarcasm. We don't really have any kind of like the scratching post is very psychologically stable. I think we've got quite a lot. I was going to say I'm like a nurturing parent on there because obviously I'm the server owner, but then again, I see a lot of nurturing parents in everyone on the server. Healthy nurturing parents. So it's like there's no crossed transactions. It's where things get crossed and nicked that causes the problems, and you can kind of explore the differences between the social level and the psychological level. There's potential for yes but games. There's potential for yes but games. I haven't really noticed that. I don't really think it's super harmful unless it becomes a repeated pattern and it's dysfunctional, which it's not. And in that respect, I would say that there's not a lot of masking. But for me, masking is predominantly getting into the, sort of forcing myself into the adult ego state when the adult ego state is not needed. It's not necessary to be in the adult ego. I'm thinking out loud, everyone. If I force myself into the adult ego state and I'm sort of doing an adult to adult thing, how's the weather? It's very nice. Thank you very much. It's very, very good. We got that. Oh, and there's a tiny bit more. Is everyone okay? Have I lost everyone in the chat? You all still here? We can still after party, but I probably won't be talking much. I want to do a couple of scenarios. I want to draw them for you. Ones I've actually planned and intended to draw because I made a note to do it. Okay, one of them is we're talking about the discrepancy between the social level Okay, we're talking about the disconnect between the social level and the psychological level. Are you ready for this, everybody? Because this is not a spectator sport. You ready for this? We're going to do just a couple more. I'm thankful you guys are still here. Right, we're going to do this. Okay, role play. No music. Role play. Ready for this? I want you to pay attention to the differences between the social level and the psychological level. That's what it says at the top. This is social level and psychological level. Because you know, they don't mean the same thing. They can mismatch. Remember my story before? We're all going out for drinks tonight. You're welcome to join us. Do you want to come? And I'm like, okay. And like, cool, we're going here. This pub. Reader, they did not go to that pub. They went somewhere else because I was not welcome, even though they said that I was. Right. We're not doing that one. I'm just reprising it for new people. You ready? This is acting. Okay. Meg, IT work. Esmeralda, the two of you, don't take this the wrong way, but you're such a robot sometimes. That's it. Role play over. Nothing meant by it. What's going on? We're going to draw two things on here on the PAC, between me and you guys. Ignore the writing on the bottom. The labels are not correct because this is me here. Actually, no. This is me here on the right. Mike is on the right. But I'm going to put Mike in quotation marks because it wasn't actually me. And I'll take masking out because that's you. Okay. Thank you for your thoughts. Meg IT went very good. We're not, it wasn't, it wasn't actually narcissistic, but sure. Okay. It's a good response. It does sound a bit robotic, to be fair. Really? Okay. Thanks for the feedback. Yeah. Wait, they're really trying to see someone's emotion devoid. No. I'm going to draw it for you. And then we'll do one more example. Okay. Just joking, I've called this one. Don't take this the wrong way, but you're such a robot sometimes. We're going to draw the social level in white. No, there's no more characters for a second. I'm just going to draw this, not in white, red. Red? Green? Give me a color, guys. Social level is what color? What color is a social level? Just pick a color that isn't black or dark. What color? Quickly. I want to go to the after party. Purple, done. No, purple's too dark. I'll do a light purple. Okay, done. Right, cool. So social level is in purple. I can write purple. Right, I've just written purple. It's here. See, social level is purple. Right. Don't take this the wrong way, but you're such a robot sometimes. Where's it going? Purple is going from socially. Don't take this the wrong way, but you're such a robot sometimes. Social level is C to C. It's playful child. I'll put a P there. It's a playful child. What did it feel like? I need a different color. I'll use yellow. Okay. Psychological level is in yellow. Okay. So don't take this the wrong way, but you're such a robot sometimes. I'm using yellow. Sorry, I've selected it now. Sorry. It's such a pain to select colors on this thing. It's such a pain to select colors. Critical parent, definitely. Yeah, 100% critical parent. Yeah, absolutely. Critical parent to, where are we going? Critical parent to child, done. Yeah, absolutely. There you go. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Shake the room. Shake, shake, shake. Boom, boom. There you go. This is a problem. And this is when you know there's a game starting. This is when you know, because like, you don't really know how to take it, do you? When I gave you that weird kind of like jokey thing, you don't know how to take it. Because on a social level, in purple, it's just a joke, miss. It's just a joke. It's just a joke. Didn't mean anything by it. And you'll find neurotypicals are fucking good at this. They're fucking good at this. They do it from like fucking 2 years old and shit. And this is something I find, yes, anecdotally, but yeah, I mean, I've got some big sample sizes going on. Autistic people tend to be quite bad at it. You are just too sensitive. Moonpearl, you're one, and Snell Kitty, welcome. You're also 2 steps ahead of me. Don't take this the wrong way, but you're such a robot sometimes. Don't take it the wrong way, but you're such a robot sometimes. Social level joke. Psychological level, this is a fuck off criticism. Disguised as a joke. And you can't point it out because if you do, Moonpearl, you're just sensitive or you can't take a joke. So if you guys are wondering, like, how do I tell that I'm in a game or that this is a game? How do I know it's not a pastime and how it's a game? Meg IT work, you take the joke too far. Do you? Or do they do and now I got you, you son of a bitch? What game is being played out? Because there's a few different balances. There's a few different stages to it. So a game always has a payoff. And the payoff here is, I was really rude to that person. And I go, oh, yeah, I could do this all day. It's just a joke. It's just a joke. And it is true also that comedians, even smart ones that could do differently or could do better or whatever. I'm thinking of Ricky Gervais is a really good one at this. Will often couch what he says as it's just a joke. And it's like, well, yeah, it is, but it isn't just a joke. It's a joke, he could possibly say. But it isn't just a joke. Make sense? It becomes a problem when there's like a psychological dynamic here. So I've said Mike here in quotation marks on the right hand side. This bit here, but it isn't necessarily Mike. We could just go for like insert position of authority of some sort here. Anything with power over you, teachers, really bad. That's a really insidious one. Teachers, like parents or whatever, something with authority over you. This is abusive. Okay. If it's like classmates and then they're acting like twats, it's less of an issue. He won't let us leave. God, stop. Anyway, does that help? Does this help? Going for a hot tub soak. Holy shit, Jansen. You're making me jealous. Withholding the exit music. Oh, right. Fine. I'll go make a sandwich. We'll play some games. We'll do after party, but have a little think about it. And also the how are you as well. Fuck it. That's one for another time. We've done like a tiny bit. No, we've done most of this. Most of what I wrote down in the 15 minutes before jumping on here has been done. I made a note to say not all narcissists are the same. I'm pretty sure I did say that. When you met one narcissist, you've met one narcissist. Okay, what else is there? Yeah, I see it. I can stick this on Discord. I can stick this on Discord if you want, and I don't know that it's going to make any sense, but we can talk about it, can't we? I can put it in the social communication channel. Thank you very, very much. Ms. Pat Majority, you didn't need to. I wished you'd spent that money on like 1 month. It'd get you more than a month actually, $4.99, but like, you know, like a month on the Discord. Because I think you'd get something out of it as opposed to just sending me money, which I appreciate. Obviously, it's great. Thank you very much. I will get some more tea. How are you? Is also an algorithmic ego state. It is, but my voice is dead now. So I'm thinking. Then get on Discord. You can continue the chat on Discord. Right. I don't know where I'm going to go with this, by the way. If you guys are still here, then you're core. There's no question. No offense to anyone else. But like, I reckon there's still more videos on this topic. All right. But I want to do something different now because ADHD, I guess. I reckon that's probably... Oh, shit. We haven't done the giveaway. Fuck it. Yes, I'm going to give away the book. Oh, my God. I'm such an... You're waiting. You're waiting. You're waiting. Right, let's do it then. What I need... I need names. Wait a second. Not yet. Just give me a second. Prize draw. Generator. I need names. Now, if you give me your name, what you will have to do if you win is give me an address to post it to. It does not need to be your home address. This prize draw is available to everybody on the internet. I'll post it anywhere in the world. The book will be signed by the cats, so it will become, in some respects, priceless. All right, hang on a second. I'm just testing this wheel of names thing. How do I... It's got a click to spear and it looks... Oh! Okay, if you've got epilepsy, you probably want to look away when I do a screen share. Right. Right. I need to go to the toilet. Okay? Okay, this is good. I need to go for a wee. I found a wheel of fortune. Don't type your name. I'm gonna go for a wee. And then you give me your names and then I'll type them in. Is that all right? I don't know if this has dedupe. I hope it does, because... Oh gosh, it's complicated. Yeah, I don't know that this particular one dedupes, so I just want one name. But don't do it yet. Wait. It's just a wee doogie, and I want to wash my hands as well. Bathroom break. Book draw. Coming up next. And then I can do that. And I can do that. And I can do that. See you in a minute. Oh no, I need to put my thing on.
Appalachian sunrise meets my skin. Even with my eyes still closed, I can feel it coming in. Golden, golden, I'll follow only golden, 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 golden things. Mountain Laurel high fives from my spring. Rainbow trout and a hummingbird wing. Golden, I'll follow only golden. Golden, golden things. Gold hair, gold rings, gold leaves, gold anything, golden. I'll follow only golden, golden, golden things.
Your name in this situation is just a token. It's not actually going to get used for anything except I'll call you out and then you'll need to email me. Right. So what we're going to do, I'm going to screen share so you can see what I'm doing. Replace, yes, with a screen share, yes. Share window, and it's going to be this one. Is it working yet? It's working yet. Okay, cool. Let's sort of zoom it in a bit. Ugh, not that, that's ugly. Right, you can see the names. There's an ad on the left. I'm just close ads. Hang on. Right, okay. Trying to make it pretty, and then I can make it pretty by doing this. No? Oh yeah, I can. Hang on. Here we go. I will ask you for your names in a second. Which means if you've typed it, you're going to have to type it again. Let's give me a sec. My trackpad initializes, and then I can do this, you see? Right, these names aren't real. I'm going to get rid of them all. I don't know who any of these people are. There we go, ready? Be gone. Names, please. I'm going to start with General Otter. Otter. Esmeralda. I don't think the length of your name is going to affect the odds at all. Soup. Jenny Kate. Suzanne T. And Marie. I can type quite quickly, so just go for it. Just drop your name in there. You have to be willing to give me a postal address. Anyway. And Marie, I already have Meg ITW, TJP, Hardway, Soup, I already have you in as Soup. Okay. Moose / Phil Holland. Esme's in, Snail Kitty's in. You go, you can check yourself in this list. Okay. Meg IT work, you were in there. I will read your names. Okay. Can I ask everybody to just pause for a second while I read the names? Here we go. We have Charlie, you are. We have Otter. Esmeralda. Yeah, I can do that. Soup. Jenny K. Suzanne T. Anne Marie. Mars. Plutonium Lolly. Helen. Barry H. Moonpearl. Charlie. Badget is Badger. There are two sets of badgers. We have a Kath. We have a Jarko. We have a Miss Pat. Lissa Ridgen. I would also like to say I've also typed your usernames better than you guys typed your usernames. much of the time. Chloe J, John B, Stephanie, Azure, Tommy M, Thomas G, Besotted by Badgers, which is the second badger set, Marcy D, Bar Vinci, Doogie, Meg, ITW for IT Work, TJP, Pardlo, Cathal Hex, Snell Kitty, Phoenix Tollerman, and Moose Phil Holland. Alan Williams, do you want to be in it? You just need to give me, that's it. Yeah, you want to be in it? You need to confirm. I'll give you like 10 seconds to confirm. You want to be in it, Alan? It's for this book, Games People Play. Oh, this actual book. Okay, cool. And we'll be doing a lot more of these. If you're unlucky and you don't win it, you can actually buy a copy if you want this particular book. Like I said, it is written in the 1950s. I wouldn't worry too much about it, except one of the games is called Frigid Woman. But you know, it's easy weird. It does work. You just have to mentally rename things. I'm not even joking. It's quite funny in that respect. Shall we? It's got its own sound effects. Is everyone ready? We're going to spin it. Do I click the middle? And the winner is... Red Gen wins it! That was stressful. That was legitimately stressful. That was literally stressful. I'm very sorry, Charlie Badger, Kath, Jarko, Miss Pat, particularly, which is like Miss Pat, Lissa, and then it just went into Red Gem. There you go. Not in any way rigged at all. But Red Gem, congratulations on winning the book. You can choose. You can just DM me on Discord if you want. Or send a message on Patreon. For those of you who are on Patreon and wish to be on the Discord and you need a bit of technical assistance, that is fine. Just message me on Patreon. I don't check my emails very often, you see, but Patreon emails, I do see them, even if I triage them in my brain. So yes, this will be signed by the kitty cats. If you have a preference on which cat you want signing it, you can let me know. Hydra is usually a good one because her paws are massive. But yeah, if you'd like a different cat to sign it, you're very welcome. Saber only has one front paw, just saying. This is why I don't gamble. It's just a bit of fun. It's just a bit of fun. I mean, it really is just a bit of fun. I think technically it's not gambling because there's no consideration. It doesn't cost you anything. So there's no, you know, it just is what it is, right? Hi, Joe and Anna. Done. Anna Ferret, who was here like not long ago during the break, actually. Good night, friends. There is one more scene to play, obviously. There is. And it's this one. No, really, it is. It is time for a sandwich. A sandwich, a cup of tea, and then we'll after party probably at the half hour. So in about 8 minutes on Discord. If any of you want to join in that time, you have 8 minutes to get into this. I'm sorry. Probably about 8 minutes.